Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Lightbringers podcast with me, your host, Jebra Unity, and we're talking about stuff and things. Don't look up that word. People can hear you. Because if you look up that word, I think people may act. I think something else may come up. And I don't know what that might be, but I kind of want to know.
That's what I thought Fortnite said. I thought it was like...
Okay. Don't say it on stream. Everyone's going to have to watch the entire show just to know. It's going to be fine. Oh my God. It was the way you said that. I wished we were on stream so I could have recorded it. That was so well said. Like in such a unique, very different way as to how it's normal, how it's said at all. It was like, it sounded like you said each syllable very specifically.
It sounded like I was AI just reading a script.
Yeah.
Oh
Kind
my
of.
God.
We're back after a couple of weeks. This is only the, I think this is only the second podcast of the year, or maybe the third.
I think it's the third or the fourth.
Yeah. Because, you know, beginning of the year, there's not that much to talk about because not that much is happening. There's lots to talk about in Guild Wars 2. Actually, wait a minute, like in general, but you know, we've talked about a lot of stuff in the game. Yeah, we did one on the 19th, well, back then, yeah, so we've had two, and it's March. But that will be kicking up a little bit more, because we've got an update now, and today we're going to be talking about the story. Ooh, the story of Repentance. That's deep. Keep forgetting the title. I'm like, oh, okay. Anyway, we have Fornax is back from sickness, but they're still sick. Welcome back.
Thank you.
Welcome back, everyone.
It's lovely to be home. Yeah.
It's lovely to be home. Oh,
We're excited to have you back home.
we are.
Yeah.
Who's still sick?
I am still sick. I am still sick. So if I cough, I will try to mute every time. So, but it's lovely to be here, and thank you. So, am I supposed to introduce myself? Oh, what?
No, we didn't go. No, I didn't ask that. No,
Okay.
no, we're not that
like,
far
oh,
yet.
I was also lost.
It's
I was
going to be
also
very
like-
soon. It's going to be soon. It's going to be very shortly, probably. But now maybe I'll just let you guess. So like you just do it randomly. Because we've been forgetting to do intros recently. Like last time we did not do an intro, and it was like, you know, oh yeah, forgot about that.
You could just do it like in the middle of the stream.
Yeah, we're just talking about death or something. I'm Jebra Unity. Please follow me on YouTube. Fuck death. Who cares about that? Welcome. This is episode, I'm just double checking, 10 of season 4. Which means
It's 410.
410.
Which 10 is halfway to 20. Which then would
true.
be 420.
And it's a third of the way to 30. And there are 30 days in this month. Is there 30 days in the month, or is there 31?
Be really embarrassing.
There's
if there isn't.
31. Yeah, I'm embarrassed now. It's embarrassing time. But there is 80-ish days until the next update, apparently, as well. So the next update is actually going in, like, you know, 80 days, because that's when the flipping Wizards Vault changes. So, you know,
Yeah.
that's good. I mean, because this update was late by, what, like a week and a half, 2 weeks? Something like that?
2 weeks.
It would have been 2 weeks, yeah. That makes more sense because it's a Tuesday, right? So yeah, it was late, but looks like maybe they're predicting the next one will be on time, potentially, I guess. That's literally because of the vault. That's the only reason why I'm thinking that. But we'll talk about this update because, you know, that's where we are. And we got, how many chapters? 2, 3? 14, 15, 16. Yes, 3.
3 chapters.
Yeah.
Okay. Engel, what do you do where you do it? Tell us about your stuff.
Hi. Yes, I'm Engelbert. I am a streamer on Twitch. You can find me at twitch.tv/EngelbertMeow. I like to play Guild Wars 2, and then I also throw in some indie titles on the weekends. And I do a series of cosplaying of characters places, things, random stuff from Tyria, and I do that for charity. And you can also find me on Blue Sky. It's where I keep most of my social posts. Hope everybody's doing good. Happy to be here.
Meow is the word to search. Also, Engelbert Meow is now a full-time member of. It doesn't change the amount of time you have to be here. Just in case you're like full-time, yes, you have to be here every time.
So on the contract for the sign-on.
Maybe I should get some contracts.
Oh gosh.
Really like tie you all down.
Oh yeah.
Engelbert,
so I can get paid in Jebro bucks.
Yeah, I told Engelbert they get paid in Jebro bucks.
Damn.
So I said I was going to dock everyone's pay for being late today.
I just get paid in compliments.
You
I'll
paid
give
me
you some
before
Jebro bucks for compliments.
Yeah, what's the exchange rate?
What's the exchange rate? $1.
Fucking poor is what it is. Yeah.
Well, welcome to our group. I need to get the art maybe updated, or just get new art because it's been a couple of seasons. So that may be something I go and do. We shall see. For now, you can double up as everyone in that picture. You can be the spanner that I'm holding, the big one. You're the light.
Perfect.
You're the light there.
Oh, well, thank you.
Or my blue hair, because you like blue.
Yeah, I'll be the blue hair for now.
That's good. That works.
All the blue glowy bits.
Yeah. Engelbert Meow, welcome back. Good to have you here. Fornax, hello. Can you tell us about you and all your things?
Hey, I'm Fornex, the Crichton Herald. I make content over on YouTube, and I blew up my shutter, so you will only find me on Blue Sky now. If you're Nazi, you can go away.
I thought you meant you blew up your toilet just then, because that's what English people call the toilet. And I was like, that's a really big piece of information to give people when you come onto the stream. Hello, I'm Fornex, the Crichton Herald. I talk about
this week, I blew up my shutter.
This week, my toilet got a serious pounding.
It did.
It was really random.
I have been really sick, so yeah, I mean, that is also true, but also the other thing is true. You can only find me on basically my social media consists of Blue Sky at the moment. I'm looking for ethical additions. I'll let you know how that goes. But yeah, if you want to follow me over on Blue Sky, it's Fornex the Herald. That's where I am over there. And I've made I haven't made a lot of content this year because I have been as sick as a dog. But I put a couple of videos up talking about the law of the Masat and my thoughts and hopes going into Repentance and what we knew about it going in. If you'd like to watch those, that would be great. But I'm here. I'm really looking forward to having a chat about this installment. I think there was quite a lot of stuff packed into it. And I have mixed feelings, but I'm really looking forward to chatting about the game with you guys.
Awesome. I'm just putting a spoiler alert for the live people who are here because we are going to be talking about the story, and the patch has only just come out. So just so you know, and that is at the top of the stream now. I don't get to feel bad about that anymore. So everyone is warned. Fornax, I'm glad you're here. I'm not glad you're sick. I'm sorry about the toilet. Kroof, go and follow Fornax on all the things.
Definitely. Yes, just Kroof. Just Kroof. Everyone else can go. Just Kroof.
No, Fornax. I'm talking about you just then. My words are all backwards today. It's Sunday. What do you want me to do? It's actually Saturday. Forgot about that. Sorry about that.
Yeah, it is backwards.
Sorry. I'm really tired. Kroof, what do you do? Where do you do it? I get really hyperactive when I'm tired, so it's okay.
Hi.
That's your
I don't know what to say. When you live life for the bit, you want to. Yeah, there's some times where you feel like you're halfway in between the worlds of committing to it and just dropping out. So sometimes, if you're saying something halfway through and it doesn't work out, just stop talking entirely. It leaves people with a good impression that this person knows exactly what they want to say and or not say. That's my life advice for the day.
It sounds like it's about choices, right?
life is a collection of choices, and regret is a byproduct of that. But hi everyone, my name's Kroof. I stream here on Twitch. Usually Guild Wars 2, but we've been mixing it up and playing like Baldur's Gate 3, Marvel Rivals, and I'm really a big fan of going higher on the last note of any syllable I say. So thank you for being here. And yeah, you can also catch me on YouTube making Guild Wars 2 videos. I also am a little sick, so I'm so sorry. Someone else say something.
Really this is going really well. I'm really, yeah.
Really bad. What's happening? Okay. I'll say some words since I'm like the host, I guess. Go follow me, Jebro Unity on Twitch. We streamed the story last night. I stream about once a week, hopefully. Sometimes maybe once every 2 weeks. Life is busy, life is hectic. Doing the therapy, being a therapist. Well, I guess that's true technically for both things. As well as being on YouTube and Spotify for the Lightbringers podcast. If you do want to see more of the Lightbringers podcast, check out youtube.com/JebroUnity, as well as Googling the Lightbringers Guild Wars 2 podcast, and you can find us pretty much everywhere, mostly on Spotify and YouTube though now, because yeah, that's where it is. So today we're talking story, because the new update came out, and there may be, if you're watching it on the stream live, or you're watching YouTube or Spotify video, you'll be able to see some footage of the gameplay in the background, so I have a reference point to where the hell we are, because even though I played it last night, I tend to forget things, which is why everyone else is here, so that I remember exactly what happened in the story, because it was good, but I think there were things which I was a bit like about, but I don't know if that's just the story or if that's the map or anything else. But also, we talked about on stream last night, and I think generally the feeling is pretty positive as what I'm garnering so far. The funny thing was last night I pressed play this chapter, and I was like, if something happens right now that I think may happen, Fornax is gonna lose their shit.
I did die a little bit inside, I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, right, because unfortunately, it was a mail. We got a mail, and I was like, wait, can I play the audio? Like beta right now? Hey, really, what's up, dude? Let me see.
That's
you
unfortunate.
do want to just get drops. Okay. Oh, wait. It's a male again? God damn it. It's always a male. Fornax is going to go nuts on this. I literally say it. Good. I was like, did I say it? Like, yeah, Fornax is going to go nuts on this. It was unfortunate.
Yeah,
so
it's a pet peeve of mine.
It is.
Any adventure starts with a letter. We're like heavily into like our period dramas, and everything. Every adventure starts with a missive from our friends. It's a bit like on the nose at this point. Sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah, Engel, if you haven't noticed, that's something that Fornax doesn't enjoy very much.
Oh, at all. Yeah.
It is funny because we do have all this technology, and we have all this stuff, and then we just get this mail, and it's just like a casual greetings commander. It's not like, which, I know it's not like, this big deal, and it's, who wants to read to get excitement, Reader Geek says, it isn't a bad letter. I'm not saying it's disgraceful or anything. It's not like terrible, but yes, we do have this continuation of the getting a mail thing, but I guess that's their way of delivering.
You know what my pet peeve is? I think that's worse than just getting a mail. It's when you have the mail and then the comms combo. When you start reading whatever, I'm like, I'm locked into the mail. I'm starting to read it, and there's always a delay on the voiceover. And then like 2 seconds later, dialogue starts, and I'm like, okay, now I don't know what to focus on. That's my pet peeve, when they use both at the same time.
That's a double whammy right there.
Yeah.
I've seen them spawn in a character to converse with you and then spawn them out again. It can be done. It can be done. Like,
who would you have wanted to? Would you have wanted them to just pop in and say hello? Like, just say that instead?
I mean, it could be rando. Any member of any of the packs could pop by. Anybody. It doesn't have to be like, I'm not saying that we have to have Countess Anise kind of like mirage her way to us by a portal, but that would be quite cool. And then just like, right, we're going, grab you, pop you through the portal and take you to where we need to go. That would be cool. That would have a sense of urgency. That would be awesome. And to move on just a tiny bit, also the fact that we had a boat journey at the start of this, but we never got to experience the boat journey. There wasn't a cutscene of Pokey hurling up over the side. That would have been great.
I mean, you got to hear it.
But
you got the audio cue.
It was like an Audible book.
Yeah.
You got to imagine it.
That's pet peeve. Yeah.
Imagination.
So, we are going to the general gist of this. I'm reading it again because I've forgotten. We're going to Gemfist entry to rendezvous with Iskaran and all the people. So we can go to, what's the map called?
Miss Burnt Barrens.
Miss Burnt Barrens, yes, which is the outskirts of Bavanisos.
Mm-hmm.
Correct.
Yes.
Where we are trying to go to. So we get this letter, we read the letter, which takes me 10 years. And then we go and say hello to... So wait a minute. Let me just ask. Engel and Kroof, how do you feel about getting a letter?
I really don't care.
There we go.
No,
I've never...
don't care.
Valid.
Slightly indifferent. Like, I'm like, I can take it or leave it. I will agree that it is getting a bit like trope. I don't know. I think it's just so commonplace now that I don't really think much of it. But it'd be cool. I would say this: if they changed it up, I would notice. I'd be like, oh, it's not a mail. So if that says anything, there you go.
Engel, do you like letters?
I think they're fine. I haven't paid attention to this thing. I guess as having any sort of feelings for or against. I could see how it feels a little out of place, but at the same time, I just kind of view it as like arbitrary paperwork that tells me where to start. So I don't know. Like, how do I jump back into this? Like,
cool.
But
okay.
Yeah.
Fair enough. I would like it to be different every so often. I think every so often it would be nice to just have not a letter. But yeah, I think to get it started, to get us in, like, I pretty much forget about the fact that the letter exists as long as everything else is good. And like, I'm just like, cool, let's go to the place, and then I forget about the letter. But at the time when I get
Take two.
The letter, I'm just like, oh, it was more about, Fornax is really not gonna like this, which was funny.
I think that there are two options of making it more exciting.
Yeah.
They could have an airship crash land right in front of you wherever you are.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
To initiate like the mid-path.
100%. Yes, everyone.
Or
it would be impactful.
Sorry, that was good. Wow, that was actually really good. What would be really fun and also a great way for them to earn
Jesus
money
Christ.
is...
I'm not capable.
If they wanted to make a pretty penny, I know I would purchase this. If you had a mail carrier, that was every time you got a mail, it was a crashing airship, like a mini airship that just crash landed onto you. That would be one way of doing it. I think that would be a fantastic mail carrier. And ArenaNet, if you do steal that idea and have it in the gem store in the next couple months, I would like to at least get 5% of the proceeds.
I actually really like that. That is good. I mean, we do have the animations. I mean,
Yeah, just have like a small airship go, and then it gives you the
Smash
mail.
into your face.
Yeah.
With a Wilhelm scream.
And then when you like send off the mail, you have it like just flying up around you, and you know,
I mean,
an
that
airship
works.
mail carrier.
Yeah.
Do they not have that? I feel like they should.
I feel like they've got something like that.
When you send a mail, a little burning person runs out of the ship and like just disappears off into the distance.
Oh, that would be fun.
Wow.
This is grim.
You went
That'd be
further.
really Yeah.
Someone dies
It can be
every single
Traherne, though.
time.
People hate Traherne, so it can be an on
can be
fire
Traherne.
Traherne, just like
I don't hate Traherne.
their ass off into the distance. Oh my god, people hated Traherne when we were
I
doing
don't
that. Like,
hate Traherne. He's got an English accent.
I thought
The
it was
core
fine.
story was pretty rough for Traherne, I will say,
Yeah.
but he got
mean,
better in Heart of Thorns.
It didn't
I
get
highly
better
recommend
for him.
the Knight of Thorns quest line that you can get. That's really cool.
Traherne
Knight
got
of
kind of
Thorns is cool.
shafted in half once, just a bit.
Yeah.
Literally. Okay, so letter done. We go to the boat and we meet Thingamajig, Pokey.
His name is Poised Arrow.
Poised Arrow. Thingamajig. Thingamajig works for everyone. I noticed that when we saw the boat, I was like, oh, it's the like really basic skin that we got with Thingamajig. Sorry, wow.
And of Dragons.
With End of Dragons. With
A little pokey on the boat.
Oh, wow.
well, I mean, you don't know what actually happens on the boat, do you? I mean, what happens on the skiff stays on the skiff.
Stays on the
and
skiff.
Pokey was like 6, so you know.
Somebody forgot their safe word. You have to be careful,
Oh my
kid.
God.
Yeah, I hope no one contracted any skiff TDs.
I will say that's a sales opportunity they missed. They could have put a fancy boat there that you could buy on the cash
true.
drop. Yeah.
Or your skin. Although that would have been a lot, probably.
Or just have it be like, we summon it. Oh, no, they can't because End of Dragons is an exclusive. Never mind.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
Not everyone
But
has a
can you
skiff.
buy the... Can you buy this expansion and not own the other one though? Before?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You can legitimately do that.
Yeah.
And
You can
play
do
it
with
as
all
a
the
separate
expansions.
thing.
Mm-hmm.
I guess
Especially with the standalone ones. Yeah.
Because there is like, someone was talking about this last night, asking this question. I was like, yeah, but you're gonna miss out on a lot if you don't. Like the expansions aren't really. I mean, you can play them individually, and I guess they maybe describe some of the stuff, but they're not very standalone-y because of just like the almost continuation of what's going on. Like if you suddenly came in and there's like Mabon and like flipping Isgaran, etc., and wizards and stuff, you'd just be like,
Yeah.
what? We just killed this dragon in Half-Horns. Like, am I just randomly here now? Like, and that's life? Yeah, I don't know. I feel like there needs to be some kind of bridging thing. Anyway, I should probably just talk about the story episode we're actually on. So you take a boat, and he pukes on the boat, but you don't get to see it. Fornax wanted to see it, which has been described.
Please make it sound as strange as you can. I feel like that would just yeah.
Trying.
We could go further.
Out of your
Yeah.
system. Consider it the sea's
I'm sad now.
initiation.
What was funny is that they continued it on. So my character said after he puked, he said, "Consider it." What does it say? Consider it the sea's initiation or something. Where is it? Into the Valley of the Shadow, Alliance staging ground. Oh, I went back too far. It's a pretty good puking noise.
That's it. Get it out of your system. Consider it the
Sorry,
sea's
I have to respond
initiation.
to Rita Geek. You weren't here for the snot monster conversation, so you are so on point with that comment. I just have to like hats off to you,
Yes.
madam.
See,
Yeah.
that is a continued thing we talk about on our stream. We don't kink shame, we kink welcome unless it is abusive,
True.
and there is respect and consent taken and given. They continue the pukiness, and there was this debuff on Poised Arrow as well, which I thought was kind of funny and very charming, called Seasickness, the sea be a cruel mistress, which I thought was kind of funny. Have a good laugh about that one. It was a nice little bit of humor, I think, to get into the episode. It was just like a nice little kind of introduction to things, reminder that we are kind of people that just exist in the world and we are susceptible to seasickness. I don't know. go down especially. But yeah, so this was nice. So we get into the first kind of area. Anyone have any thoughts on this kind of first intro bit into the story? Are we trying to remember exactly what happened?
I thought it was fine. I thought it was good. I guess my overall first impression of this area is it's a choice to kind of go into this new area as not like the first pioneers, where you are going into a situation where everyone is already kind of set up camp, which definitely creates a different tone with the map. It makes it safer to tell stories because you can rely on NPCs to give that story, and like researchers have already been researching this area and surveying the land. But it doesn't feel as like wild as I was expecting for Janthier Wilds, or just this area in particular, where you really are the first ones to take a step into this ruined area. But that was my only like overall impression. It was a different narrative choice than I was expecting.
I agree. I was expecting to come across on the boat and have to set up the camp and kind of this be the finished product of like the first part of the story, coming here, establishing the camp, setting up the different like routes of exploration and that kind of thing. I wasn't just it's like, and here's one we made earlier. You know, it was a bit jarring because obviously we didn't have like an intro in, and there wasn't very much talk about it. And if you're not paying attention to all the written text in like the correspondence that you get, then you will be under the impression that we are coming here and we're investigating kind of for the first time. And that's where I think like a little cutscene could have like Pokey throwing up over the side talking about the expedition that's already gone on ahead, so that there are like context clues for people to kind of arrive. And also I was expecting to arrive at a port or some sort of
say the same thing. Oh my god.
Yeah. Because we used a vessel to get there. We used a seafaring vessel to get there. Where's the port? Where's the boat tied up to? It feels like you're in a it doesn't feel like you're in the world. It feels like you're in a bubble, which is something that they've. I mean, I hate to like harken back to Path of Fire, but that grand expedition out, that kind of really kind of set up your expectations as you're traveling across the land, and you have a sense of the journey, and you have a sense of the distance. And without that kind of contextual clue from the visual storytelling that they are very, very capable of and very, very good at, you kind of just feel plonked down. And they've done this a number of times, but even in like disparate maps, say Bloodstone Fen, we had that amazing journey to get there. We had the cataclysm, the blow up of the Bloodstone. So we were kind of placed in the world. And here I just kind of feel like we're kind of, they've taken away some of the embeddedness of the story in the world, I think.
I definitely think that they should have opened up the map more, because we can go south and there's the Golden Lake there, and you can see kind of beyond to where the perimeter of the island is. But there's an invisible wall there, and I think if they just had opened it a little bit more so it didn't feel so closed in, as you call it, like a bubble, I think that would have made it at least give the impression that like, oh, this is more organic. But I had that impression when I was first playing. I was like, oh yeah, that felt kind of weird.
Angle, thoughts? Do you have any thoughts?
I'm taking that all in. I'm actually I'm in the map right now, like looking for water, because like it's sort of like I was like at the base camp, or the staging ground, right, and then to west of it, it shows like blue, like there should be water, like that's how you came in from the boat perhaps, but you can't see any of it. It's just like a giant mountain behind that area. So I was just kind of taking that in and noticing that. I didn't realize it the first time I played this, but yeah, I actually thought that the look of it was really cool. I was excited to see it kind of call back to almost like, to me it felt very kind of like Auric Basin-y, a little bit of like, you could see maybe in the Wizard's Tower, like some of these architectural influences. And I'm always a big fan of ruins. I like to go absorb maybe some of the pieces of history or the way people lived, and so to see these ruins kind of hopefully set up Baba Nisos, I enjoyed that, and the colors of the streamers and just sort of the little bits of life as we got started here, and then you kind of make your way out into more ruiny ruins that haven't been touched as you go along. So that was kind of cool for me. And then I liked that it wasn't very big. It's another little base camp, kind of like the what is it, the Wizards camp in Janther Wilds. Like it was very small there, and I like that they kept that contained here as well.
Cool.
So it is just like a small little camp as you come in, and then you get to kind of go out and explore with the event chains.
Nice. Okay.
I must admit, I was not expecting the camp to look, so the ruins to look like this. The only other real big interaction that the players have ever had with the Masat is on the Fire Island chain. And if you go to the Fire Island chain where the Masat are, it's all crystalline structures. Everything is made of the same material as all the golems that you see around here, and I was expecting like a crystalline city, as a lot of their technology seems to be, and this seems very worldly, very kind of. You wouldn't be surprised if this was a old human settlement, right? It doesn't look so alien as for it to that it couldn't be pick a culture off Tyria. And I was honestly I was expecting something much more alien, much more strange, to kind of represent the Masat as the kind of almost like interdimensional beings that they are, because obviously we just found out that their home plane is Naos, which is in itself a kind of ethereal realm. And I was expecting something stranger, I guess. Not that I'm disappointed. This is very. I mean, I'm from England, so like a lot of the. This is like not a lot of. We have a lot of this. You know, this half of the place is like falling down and ruins and stuff, because we have lots of historical preservation laws in place. But not that I'm disappointed, not that I don't think that it looks great. I think it does. But it was not what I was expecting, not what I pictured in my head when I was thinking about the Masat from the old culture that we had in the first games.
Okay. We can talk about that more as well as we see it. So I think it changes. Okay. So they do talk about the fact that they are bringing in teams to try and survey the areas, which surveying is a big theme of the map specifically. It comes into the story a little bit, I suppose, because they're trying to get into Baba Nisos, the city, of course. There's this big warder up, which we'll get into in a bit. But and it sounds like the Alliance have got this real big pressure on them, and that's very clear, kind of clear from the start, that to really get in there as soon as possible and do the things. And that's what they're talking about in this kind of first instance, I guess. And I'm trying to remember where's that. That's right. Okay. You have to train the first mastery to continue the story.
Yes.
after you've checked in with Anise and you've walked around kind of the camp, and I was walking around the camp expecting there to be some secrets and stuff that you could do afterwards. So the intro for me was a little bit dry. I think, coming into the island, not seeing that, the kind of introduction that we've seen to other places. Is it an island? Technically? I'm gonna guess. I can't remember. I'd have to
an isle.
Yes.
I am one of the isles. Yeah, whatever. And so that intro is kind of weird. And I get what you were saying about the kind of closed off bubbleness of things. Bubbleness? Is that a word? It can be. Let's just work it. It's fine. I think for me as well, it's interesting thinking about this as it almost being a very instant separated, bubbled off thing. Because if you think about the theme of the city itself and where we're going into Bavanisos, that is exactly what that is, right? It's almost like, I don't know if it's intentional, but it feels very cut off. So it doesn't feel like it's part of the world because of maybe how they wanted that to be. So it's almost like it does kind of make you feel like that. So I wonder if that is somewhat intentional. I don't know, just a thought. Anyway, mayhaps. I'm like, maybe that would be a good thing to get people on to talk about, actually. Anyway, so how do we, is there anything like really important else in that little kind of, in the bit we just kind of went through?
I mean, there are a few notes about the expedition kicking about. There is like on a gameplay side, you can see the new armor set that you can get being displayed on characters, and they're holding the weapon set that's there, which is a nice change. It's a visual display of what's on offer. They did this back in Heart of Thorns on the kind of the pre-map where there was an armor set and someone stood there going, "Nice armor, dude," and they're like, "Thank you, it's awesome." And I like that. It's a nice like nod to players so that they know what they're getting into. And I think just on that side of it, like they've done a hugely better job of like showing off the shiny bits and pieces that they have in videos and in the game, so that players know that, yeah, there's lots of stuff for you to collect here. If you're into like collecting shiny armors and that kind of thing, it's here and it's at the base camp and it's easy accessible. So just like on a pure gameplay basis, I think that is a step up, and that they're improving their kind of selling of what's on offer in the game.
Okay.
And might I add, just looking at the actual in-game journal for the story, there is a paragraph that describes their journey across the sea that we don't technically see.
Okay.
I was just reading that. Very interesting. It's more information than we got.
It's at least something that isn't just like, yeah, it was a rough story or a rough storm, and but it was like, it reads, around his 5th verse of "Tap the cask and down the hatch, I threatened to toss him overboard, but that's when the winds began to pick up. I managed to keep us on course, but the increasingly choppy waves made this no easy task. Poised Arrow aided me as best he could, but grew unsettled by the strength of the storm. To his credit, he held his own longer than expected, then he retired to the side of the boat where he spent the rest of the trip heaving." Now I feel like there should have been a cutscene for that. Like there should have been like a little cinematic.
100%. Yeah.
Okay.
But I will say, I think this was the instance where you could go and speak with Isgarin, Poised Arrow, and Waiting Sorrow afterwards. And they do a really good job at giving a summary of the Seer and Mersat history. I was really pleased to see that, because this is stuff that has happened so long ago, and I feel like is really tapped in by players who are hardcore fans of like prophecies and digging deeper into lore, and it can be quite chunky, but they did a great job at just like synthesizing it all into like, yeah, this was the conflict between the Seers long ago and the Mersat. They had a very bloody war, and it was good. It was good. It might be this one, or it might be the next instance where we're in camp, but
But they tell.
He mentions it in this one, where he said the north area was where there was a battle between the Seers and the Mersat, and that's why you set out north first, and why you see the ghostly Seers around when you start doing that.
Yes, that's right. Again, the same text. Good pick up on the text again. These are really good. They do fill in some of the gaps sometimes, but I don't think people float towards these, because they talk about this heaviness. They do just in the story, just then in the actual game, and then also in the text. They just talk about this heaviness a lot, and they kind of go out to search and get this mastery, which is the next kind of bit. It might be good to just dip back into this text as a reminder of what actually is going on sometimes. I think we forget. I definitely forget some of what's been talked about. There's like a general idea of like we go out and do the things, but yeah, there's some little bits of story which are really, especially in this episode, which are kind of important. So we head out. How we go on? Sorry.
I was going to say, I think that the writers have kind of reached back into like the Second World War history for that feeling. Because people, this is going to get very serious right now. So people who have visited Auschwitz and other concentration camps, where not only like millions of Jewish people were killed, but disabled people and any political enemies that they had, and communists, everyone went to the camps eventually. And there's a feeling in those places that people say that the birds don't sing, that there's an oppression about it, and whether it's psychological or whether there's something else, there's that oppressive feeling. And you have to remember that this was a genocide. They didn't want to, the Mossad didn't want to punish the Seers for betraying them. They wanted to eradicate their race, and they did. So that's a huge, like, heavy darkness. That's like the worst parts of humanity on display, or the worst parts of their culture on display.
Yeah, that's a good pickup. Honestly, that's true. Because like you say, it is. You get that mess. You can't get more of that as you go through the map and whatnot. That's for sure.
It's quite dark. It's actually quite a dark story, and it's huge amounts of tragedy on both sides of it as well, with what happened, and because it was not unanimous what was happening. No culture is a monolith, right? And you get notes of people disagreeing, and there's even some notes of there's old notes from humans as well that they've picked up and put into the Mossad library. So it shows that they're interested in other cultures, and there was an interest in what would happen after all this as well. They had a plan. They wanted to be the saviors, and it shows how good intention can be so corrupting to evil, which is kind of prescient, I think.
Such a weird time in the world to have this story going on. Like, what the hell? So interesting. Wow. I wonder if they're using any of that. I mean, we use our life experiences, right? So something that I really got drawn to when I walked into the map, and also just being here in general, I think, with these big kind of, because I'm not sure what they are specifically. I mean, I would assume it's like part of the ward, but also part of the design and like the influence of Mossad, Seers, whatever, of these red, black kind of spaces between like arches and whatnot. Is that like essentially not like a window, but that's just a wall? Like, what does anyone know what that is? Because I know like further in it's the ward, right? It's like the part of this ward, but
I think it's just the obsidian. Yeah, I think. Well, on top of the spires, they have a lot of obsidian. Well, spires. The spires are obsidian, so I think this is just a way for them to highlight that these are Mersat regions.
Okay.
And the Mersat still, decorated slightly with it.
Yeah, that's the most. These aspects are the most reminiscent of the architecture that they had in the original game. But I thought a lot of it was, especially it seemed like it might be to do with their magic. So, and perhaps to do with the warding that Moban was trying to close down all kind of entrance into it. But I don't know.
I think Smudgem said something
have to get the writers on.
Yeah, right. I think Smudgem said something which is interesting. I feel the Masat Jade Obsidian is the original buildings, but they build on top of it to appeal to the other races on Tyria to trust them. I like that. So, because there is a familiarity to it. Like, why do they need... They don't essentially need like stone and rock and all that kind of stuff. Like, I mean, you know, and they could just build it all out of obsidian if they wanted to.
Were a lot of other races coming to Bavanissos though?
Maybe the plan was to, I guess.
I feel like this, the way I read it was just like the Mersat when devising a home, because they still...
Well, don't forget, there is tons of different races here already. Remember? Like, they kind of, you know, they already exist here. Because they came here. They came to these regions, right? Because they were, like, criminals and other bits and pieces. Like, I mean, we see the ghosts of, like, Char and humans and tons of other races. It's quite a lot of different races.
Were they not
here.
sacrificed? Yeah. Were they not just sacrifices?
Well,
that was my thinking.
They were in the villages, like, as... like were they white men? I don't know if they were white men specifically, but like, you know, there were people still around here. So whether or not it was comfortableness and like, you know, so they could, I don't know, but
whatever the reasons might be, I read their architecture as being a good way to make more of a three-dimensional character for the species of Mersat. Like their home, they still want to have a semblance of comfort and where they can relax. But when they're outside of Bavanissos, that's where they really utilize their harsher architecture to put up a front and to put on an image of dominance. But behind all that, they're still here to thrive and to feel a sense of their own peace.
Okay. It's always nice to think about that because I have varying feelings about all of the ruins and stuff in the map, and I keep changing my mind on both sides. So with that in mind, we have to level a mastery line before the story starts. How do people feel about that? It's not uncommon, right? About the fact that we have to level this mastery line before the story continues.
Oh. Yeah.
I felt it was very quick into the story where I was like, oh, like that threw me off a little bit where I was like, immediately I got to do this and not like halfway through and I have half a bar like already. And so it felt a little strange, not anything I wasn't like super unhappy to do, but it did feel a little strange to kick things off like that.
I noticed that as well. I was like, oh, it's usually like the second instance or so, but they start to ask you for the masteries.
Yeah, I looked at it and thought, oh, should I go to the forums and see what people are thinking? And I decided to save myself that trauma. I feel like there's a lot of I feel like there's a lot of pushback about some of the time gating that happens, not just in this game but in other games, right? Artificially like elongating things. And I think that that can be done to good effect when you have good storytelling and it's well embedded. But fill up bar is not good storytelling. And as a person who plays for the story, it's just something to get done rather than something that I particularly find engaging, personally.
Yeah,
agree.
I feel like they could have not forced, but like guided us into doing some of this by changing the way it felt. Like if they were like, oh, we want you to go out and do survey events, like start doing your events, and then you're already training that mastery or something, or it like encourages you to do that, and that would have felt more like, oh, it wants me to play these events as like part of the story and not here train a mastery. You know what to do. Go do some events.
Yeah,
which is kind of how they've done it a little bit in the past, I think. Like, because I think that doesn't sound like, it's not new to them to do that. Like, it sounds like something they would have done. They have done in the past. It makes me think of Nios and running around the map with the green circles, and you have to like kind of look.
Doing rift events.
Yeah, like, you know, at least that was, that, because they could have linked it. I think you're right, like, to the idea of like, we're in a new place, survey the land by doing the things, and these events, you know, are relevant because, you know, you're defending, like on the screen now. There's an event where you defend the cannons because, you know, this is a defensive area which you need to, you know, lock down, etc. Relevant. You know, it makes sense because you have this encampment and you're trying to defend it. I think that's what they're trying to do anyway, I'm pretty sure. But it's part of, I don't know.
I think that's where the story gets a bit difficult because where the commander is placed in this timeline is that people have already surveyed this area. So it's not like the commander is responsible for surveying the land. Like, they already know what's going on. So in that regard, that's why I'm like, that would actually be a good reason for the story to be like, hey, we don't know what's going on here. You seem capable. Please go out and survey the land and get back to us.
Yeah.
But they already had that answered. And I have a...
Do they?
Sorry.
Because they continue to survey.
No, they continue to survey, but I think it's more so just like research as to what is happening. They already know where all the landmarks are. People already comment like, oh, down south there are more bloodstone activities.
Yeah.
In regards to this mirror thing, I think I formulated 3 ideas. First and foremost, the masteries, I do actually appreciate how long or how much more oomph they give at least your first time playthrough. Compared to last time, we didn't have a new map and a new mastery that we didn't really have to train, so the story went by much faster. This, I at least felt like the length was good. Second, I think it was strange to have this mastery in particular be somewhat lore heavy, and for us to just learn Mersat Shadowcraft by doing random events out in the open world. It's not like we 100%. Even talked to Isgarin and was like, hey, did Mabon mention anything about these strange mirrors? We were just like, well, we have some mirrors. Let me go kill a bunch of Titans, and I suddenly know how to use Shadowcraft magic. So that was really strange, and I literally didn't actually not even think about that until right now.
Same now. Now you're talking about it. Same.
Because
I didn't think about it at all.
It felt so like, but it was just like, it doesn't even matter. But this is supposed to be some type of specialized magic.
I mean, that was the thing they teased us, right?
Like, they had a whole like lore section on it. So I think they could have given it a lot more credence and credibility to have its own lore moment where we talked to Isgarin about it.
I mean, I don't know why they didn't use that as an opportunity to like explore the lore. Why didn't we go around with Waiting Sorrow to explore this? She's a wizard. She's bigged up for her magical prowess throughout this series, right? Why isn't it her? Why aren't we aiding her investigations? There could have been some nice like moments where she's investigating it. We have to defend her while she's doing this. She could give some lore information. She could talk about how the weave is woven together and how it's connected through. And they could have really like embedded it in the story. Instead, we have Phil Barr. And not only do I think that that's bad storytelling, I think that it's bad gameplay, to be honest. Especially when you've said so much about it and linked it so heavily to the story. And also, I found the delivery of the shadow magic strange, because when we go into it, once you've unlocked it, you don't see a shadowy version of Tyria. There's no filters. There's no change. Yeah. You actually have a little rainbow puppy that you follow around. That is not giving shadow vibes for me. So it felt super disconnected. It felt really disconnected. And I guess I was thinking like shadow magic, is it going to be like an instant teleport somewhere, or is the world going to change around me? Am I going to see strange things, see the world through new eyes, have some sort of like Mersat vision, and like maybe see the ruins differently, maybe the sky is different, maybe I can see different things? No, it's just you slowly as a little puff wandering to play. It just didn't hit for me. I feel really bad. I'm sorry, guys. I know you were hugely hard on this. I'm so sorry, but it just didn't hit. It just didn't hit for me.
Yeah.
It is. No, I think you're right. And there is now the mirrors. I went back to the text that and there is something which links us to the mirrors, right? Because that we need to use them, because the wisp is in these areas. I think the second one was in an area which we needed to get to using a mirror. I can't remember, or if it was like we used the mirror and then it was there or something. So there was like a tiny link, because before we have to level up, we find this wisp, which is actually a really important thing, which I wanted to mention. I completely missed, which we'll find out what that is obviously in a bit. And we're searching, we see it, and I think it disappeared. I made to investigate the wisp more closely, but Anise strongly advised that I not follow an unidentified entity off into unknown territory, which is kind of funny. And then that's kind of when you do level up to get the mastery of the mirrors. But like Cruz said as well, that's disjointed. That is the word I think that's how I felt.
The story journal doesn't even mention that we encounter a sought mirror, which is seemingly this is the first time that we've encountered this thing, which should be like a really interesting and somewhat powerful artifact that we're like, what is this strange device? And yeah, I think this just could have been written better, and B, gameplay wise, like rearranged differently into where this actual mirror pops up.
Yeah. I think I would have been so much more invested in the story if we'd have landed with a big crew. We'd have set up, we'd have explored the ruins, we'd have understood what these individual lanes were actually doing story contextually. We would have found the mirror on the top. What the hell is this? And we would have had a proper starting point, rather than kind of wading into the story, like feeling like we'd missed the opening prologue. If you know what I mean.
It's funny because when you were describing that, I thought it made me think of when we first saw what's his name, the enemy in the last expansion. And when we and we got disappointed. And for some reason, I thought about that. I was like, the mirror, because the mirror felt like it was going to be this really cool, almost waypoint mechanic where you just go from one to the other, you walk through, and you get through the other end. Whereas actually what it is it's just another way for you to get some rewards. Like by going into a bubble. Like a nice
that you need a key for.
Yeah, it's just a chest, really. It's just
that you can't even open.
Yeah, exactly. It's literally just almost like the chests you get in High Spirit Saga, the ones where you need to attune to it through masteries, etc. It's literally the same, other than you go through a mirror and you turn into a wisp, and there's this like minute or so of annoyingness where you're bobbing around before you get to this place. And I'm like, I probably just could have gone somewhere else to get this thing, honestly. But like, anyway. So it didn't really hit for me either, I think. And anyway, that's after you've leveled the mastery line. But some of the events and stuff, and walking around, flying around, whatever you did in the map, it was okay. I think the events are cool. I think for me as well, like when I first got into Jamfield Wilds, the first map was definitely more impactful for me in terms of events and the real story and depth immediately. But like that makes sense. Whereas, it would have been weird to have all of this kind of story and lore, etc., right off the cusp, like really, really soon here, because essentially it's a base of operations for like, an entire race who are evil. So they won't be showing you everything. Everything won't be on display right away. So I tempered my expectations a tiny bit. What I liked when I was going around the map as well is the what's the stuff called at the top? The oh god, good lord, in the chasm.
Spectral Agony?
That's it, the Spectral Agony. Like, that area was like, ooh, this is cool. And as soon as you go near it, you pretty much die. Like, if you fall too low. Yeah. That was, like, it was this really, like, Fornax was talking about earlier, that heaviness, but also literally, like, the kind of damning area. Like, there is this literal wound. That's kind of interesting, actually, because Fornax, that point earlier is very good. It's literally like a wound that goes through the land of just death. Like, you will die if you hit this thing. Whereas everything else, like, there's some brightness, there's growth, there's actual life and stuff, and then there's this just huge area of, that's it,
agony.
Yeah, of agony, of literal agony and pain.
Agony, torment, pain.
Oh God.
I also wondered a little bit, like, where they might be able to go, like, with armors and things, because in the original Guild Wars, you can infuse your armor to be more defensive against Spectral Agony, whereas, like, right now you just get wiped if you touch it. And so I was kind of looking for possibly something, you know, where they're like, oh yeah, we're working on defenses, or we'll figure this out in the future, or maybe something in that library that we adventured into. But I was like, I'm hoping to see that in the future, I guess, maybe.
I have a full set of, like, Legendary Ascended stuff. I have, like, Agony Resist up the yin yang, and I die going in there. I was very disappointed because that's the mechanic to do the fractals, and I have the highest Agony Resisted that's possible to get in the game, and I still can't go in there, which is kind of
maybe
fun.
That's just missed agony.
Yeah, maybe.
Calling it the same thing though, and it being
this
red.
is Spectral Agony.
Yeah, I guess that would have been an interesting crossover.
Yeah,
that could have been
a little bit of a missed opportunity, maybe.
Yeah. Oh, I like that idea, like having something else somewhere else, you know, accessibility, etc. Aside, you know, it would have been kind of cool, I guess, having it a little bit less impactful.
I mean, it's hard for, like, I don't think that they've really conveyed how badass the Massat were in the original game, that we had to go through Ascension to even see them, that we had to find the last seer on the planet that was alive to actually get some agony resist against them, so that we could face them and not immediately be murdered and die, just writhing in agony on the floor. You kind of... But it's hard to convey that without doing some sort of flashback cutscene, right? It's hard to kind of put the weight of that on. So
that's where they rely so heavily on Guild Wars and lore of the past and information, and maybe from a previous game, which I think has already started to impact maybe how they are able to tell some of these stories if they continue to go back to tell stories, which, you know, to continue to tell the stories that people do want to hear and see. And I wonder about that a lot. Like, you know, how much service are they giving to fans of old over the newer player who may want to get into an MMORPG after it's been out for 12 years and then also had another game before that. Like, it must be a really difficult balance to achieve.
I mean, a kick-ass cutscene showing the lore would do it. I mean, just have the story recap at the start so that people are on the same page. It doesn't have to be War and Peace.
True.
You know,
that's true.
It could just be Isgarin reminiscing on the war. You know, and he was there. He was there during the time of the Ascalonian hero. He was a wizard in the tower then. So he will have watched what we were doing as we were opening the door of Kamali. You can be shit sure that he was. So everything could have come from his point of view. Yeah, they could have had him, like, because he is kind of what I thought Pather would be. He is the doormaster. He is taking us places because he's kind of been there and done that. So he's going to be like Madam Web, but not the shit version, the real version from the comic books, to take us through the multiverse.
Still
right?
Not watched that. And I'm pretty sure I won't. Just because I've heard it's awful.
Yeah, self-care is important. But yeah, so
that's basic needs. Actually, I think you'll find it with that one. Self-care is way beyond that.
A couple of really well done cut scenes would square this bitch away. It would be done. It would be fine, and everyone would be on the same page, and they could big up the Massat and go forward from there. I think, personally.
Fair. As we're going through the map and whatnot, I'm wary that we could easily talk about some of these subjects for a long time. We may do another podcast on some of these things. I'm going to push us on in the story. So after
what happens in the valley, Jabro?
God, if you're asking me what happens in the valley, you're probably asking the wrong person. Do you mean after we've done the mastery?
Yeah, because you go to the valley next.
Okay. I'm getting to this bit, so I remind myself exactly what. Look, it took me ages to level up this bar because I was like, oh, look at my mount. It did feel like a long time, and I had an experience piece because I was trying to find flipping. I did pretty much all the events in the map, to be fair, to level up. Like, I'm trying to get back here. Oh, there we go. That's when we see the orb. Okay, it's actually after we level up the mastery. That's weird. My bad. Okay, yes, we meet in the valley. I'm here. Mm-hmm. Oh, I went to an event. I love watching my ADHD unfold. It's so great. Like, suddenly I'm looking at an NPC looking at armor. Like, here's the story. And I was so focused on trying to make sure that I did focus just on the story so I could get it done. One thing I loved when you did go into the valley, thank you, Kroof, was this art was one of the, I think this is one of my favorite pieces of art I've had for a bit. All the art is amazing, but this was just wicked. It's on the screen right now. If you have the stream open, if you don't, sorry. It's just there's such a nice contrast between like the top of the image to the bottom and seeing all the spectral agony and the enemies and like because these are all seers. Are they seers?
Yeah.
Yeah, they're all seers, right? Yeah. That have died in the war, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's just beautiful. I just really love the art. It's just so good. And anyway, sorry. Art in this game is so wild. I was watching because yes, there's season 2, and again I'm going to go off topic. There's the season 2 Living World story sheet music coming out, and McLean did a small little interview on Instagram talking about it, and he was talking about how influential the art is in his music and how he looks at the art always before, and that's what he uses as his main inspiration to compose the music. And like how important sometimes that loading screen is I think sometimes we forget how well it can really set a scene. Sometimes it works for me. It might also be because we don't get that many cutscenes, but because I feel like sometimes the loading screen could be a cutscene. But yeah, I think before we go in there, it's kind of it sets a bit of a mood for me, which is nice.
It really is your first impression before you get into a map, before you get into a story mission. So it's important.
It is. It really is. So they're going down into what did you call it, Kroof? Sorry.
The Valley of Spectral Agony.
Valley of Spectral Agony. Oh, which you are affected by, and Isgaran has to protect you from. Do you want to talk about this, Chris, first?
Take damage as well. I was healing the hell out of them while they were...
I know, I would notice that too.
You were healing them as you went through?
Yeah, because sometimes he wouldn't regenerate health, and my personal experience, I was like, don't die.
Oh my god, really? I was too busy. I was at the front. I was just like, I didn't give a flip about my friends. I just assumed they were okay. That's
I think he
hilarious.
regenerates after a bit, but he would get kind of lower than I was expecting.
Really?
But...
Okay. Yeah, I didn't even do anything. I was like, I think I was fine. Wow, I was really selfish.
Blue car. You were away with the fairies.
I was running around trying to look at them, like, cause they just looked really, really cool. What were they called? They were just called. What is that word? Is this very specific? Like the
chorister.
Yeah. What does that mean? Is that like a
Google? Yeah, I actually didn't look that up.
Chorister is a member of a choir, especially a child or young person singing the treble part, or a person who leads the singing of a church choir or congregation.
Interesting. Because I was like, these are seers, right? But what's a chorister? And is it someone, and they're part of the agony, or are they like just enemies hanging out in the agony? They're ghosts, but like.
So, chorister can also refer to a hostile or enemy character in a musical or a book. So that might be a connection there.
When we were in the library later, when you're exploring, there's a book that talks about a Masat torturing a seer.
Okay.
And after weeks of torturing them and keeping them like barely alive, the seer starts to sing. And something nefarious starts to happen to the Masat. Something bad starts to happen to them as the seer is singing. And it's deeply dark. Deeply dark. I can't remember what it's called though, so please, I'm sorry. But it's
that's really good.
Creepy read. So yeah.
Interesting. They begin to sing. So is it because they're about to die, or is it they're trying to release their pain, or like what's that?
They have something going on with singing.
There is.
Absolutely,
so
right?
there's a number of there's a seer singing during its torture and the Messiah is frustrated because it won't break. The seer will not break. He will not give information, and he starts to sing, and the Masat's peers are just like, well, just go to more traditional methods of torture, and he's like, no, but the seer will die. I want to keep them alive as long as I possibly can. So it's absolute cruelty and monstrousness on display. But as the seer is singing and keeps on singing day after day, strange things start to happen. And it's unclear what is happening from the text. But I feel like it might be coinciding with the fall. With the release of the Titans through the Gate of Kamali, so I feel like it's all very strange. It's all very strange, and there's also like a hymn or a prayer of the Masat that you can find very high up on one of the main buildings. That's kind of it's almost like a song. So there's a heavy like musical influence going on.
Yeah, because there's some like poetry as well. I found like there was that with one of the instances where you go and. Which is next to that stone thing, which I didn't do much with.
Interesting. And this is where I lament the fact that when we interact with books and documents in the world, we don't keep a record of them that we can easily like reference. That would be lovely to have a kind of collective library of all the kind of information that we pick up. It would be another nice. Collection treasure hunt as well for players to be able to like build a library of all the books and lore that we've gathered in the world. That would be nice. Daddy, please, for Christmas.
Yeah, right. I think there's in the Elder Scrolls Online, I think there's a mod where if you pick up a book, it goes into a library that you can read back things. I don't know if that's actually true, but it sounds like I'm pretty sure you can.
There is exactly that in World of Warcraft. I've got that.
Okay, must be then. Awesome. So we're in the valley, and we find the wisp. And and we use the Heart of the Obscure. And again, Fornax comes into my head, and I'm like, we're using the Heart of the Obscure again. Is Fornax happy about this? How do they feel? Because I know that they're like, the Heart of the Obscure is this thing which is like, when are we going to...
I feel like I've cursed you.
Sorry. You have cursed me. I think about you a lot when I'm playing this game, because I'm like, Fornax is like, thinks about the story, because I think about the story. I mean, we all do, but you're because you're the, like, the story is like your main thing. I think now I'm very influenced by, you know, and by all of you, and the way you pick up these little different things, and like by anyone, like people in the chat, and you know how we do interpret story and the impact on us, and like, you know, did I think about that? What would they think about this in this situation? Because I almost like to get in the mind of someone else sometimes when I'm taking in content and story, how it would feel like from someone else's perspective. It might be a therapist in me, but I don't know. But I remember people's comments, they stick in my head, which is why I thought so much about the initial letter that we got, and be like, well, Fornax ain't gonna like that. You know, there's something going on here. Or I've like, you know, it's just interesting. But anyway.
Just leave that there for a while.
I think about Fornax.
Generally sorry. Generally sorry.
Damn. I don't need two ADHD people in my head. Anyway.
Fuck.
Oh, wow. That's enough. One is enough. But we come across the Wisp, and we use the Heart of the Obscure again, which is seeing more action. And then all of a sudden, there's just a lot of... It's Massat now. Ghosts, so we're a bit attacked by it, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
So a Massat ambush.
Yeah. So we've been kind of ambushed by both sides, and the ghosts are just kind of like, you know, there's a lot of them. It's kind of annoyed me after
there's a
while.
lot. I actually loved the density of the mobs.
Yes.
And it made me almost want them to develop a game mode that's like a wave survival game mode with actual difficult enemies. Because thankfully they died within like 1 or 2 hits. But I was like, wow, I kind of forgot about this style of gameplay in certain video games where it's just survive as many waves as you can. And it was pretty cool.
You know that this is already in the game, right, Criff? Elsewhere.
Where?
Guild missions.
World versus World?
It's a guild mission where you do it. The enemies are not very difficult, but it is a guild mission. You have to defend an area from different waves.
I thought you were going to say something that was like relevant, but...
Oh, harsh but true.
I had to do it to him.
Harsh but true. So true.
I was like, is there a dungeon that I missed or something?
No. I mean, there are like, you know, quests like when you're running through, and there's little things like this, but this is a bit more, you know. I think to a point I did get bored of this, but I was trying to mostly do it because of the achievement, because I think you had to kill 35 or something to get the achievement. I do like getting those achievements done in the first instance of the story. Engel, how are you doing? How are you feeling about all of this so far? Like coming into the valley, and you know, there's all this nonsense going on.
Yeah, I mean, I am currently doing a playthrough in the original Guild Wars with the story, just to kind of refresh my memory, but also I'm working on my Guam. But I was just excited to kind of like see these bits and pieces, like, and then I had the same thought when the enemies switched to Massat. I was like, oh, we're changing things up here. Is this like some reminiscent battle? It like, what is it? Is it like they're hostile just because I'm here? Like, so I was thinking about that, but I do like the number of enemies and the story, and just kind of absorbing where we're going so far, revisiting all of this lore. I think it's fun, and I also think that it is inviting new players to the original Guild Wars. At least it's what I've seen amongst my community and people kind of being interested in that lore for the first time, whereas they didn't really touch it before. So, yeah.
That's good to know that that's the case.
Oh yeah, I've had a few comments of people being like, I've never been as interested or excited about lore in the game before. So I think it's a good story that deserves to be told again.
100%. Yeah.
Good.
I mean, yeah. If you are thinking about jumping in, it is Prophecies. It's literally the first ever game in the Guild Wars universe. Just try not to stay in Pre-Seer and Ascalon forever. That's all I'll say. It's very pretty. Yeah. Yeah. And also, if you ever need help, I have my rich list. She's a Rit, and she's happy to come along with adventures. Some of them are quite difficult to solo.
Yeah, we've got a pretty good group going. So I'll send you the invite if you're.
Oh damn!
Yeah.
Damn! Yeah, absolutely. I never got my obsidian armor. I'm a lazy baggage. So yeah.
Maybe we need to do a Guild Wars playthrough of those things, like as a podcast.
Honestly, I would be 100% down because I'm like a little. I don't even think I'm halfway through Prophecies. I haven't finished it.
I did, but I've forgotten it all.
It is a lot. Prophecies is a lot.
Pretty sure I completed most of Guild Wars, but like, if not all of it, but like, I don't remember it. Like before End of Dragons and other things, like we went. I was like, yeah, I should do a playthrough of this part of Guild Wars, and then get to it, and I'm like, did we do this? And then I remembered I highlighted all my Guild Wars streams, and I went back and I was like, yes, I did. I literally got another character, and like I'm like done the things. And I'm like, wow, damn, how did I forget this?
Can I just big up Prophecies? Like, it is epic. You arrive in a pristine world. It gets completely destroyed. You are thrown into chaos. You are fleeing for your life across the mountains. It is proper high fantasy, high adventure, and it is absolutely amazing. It genuinely is. Like, and there's twists and betrayals and deaths, and it has like real meaning, and the lore is just so rich and dark. But the graphics are janky. So you just have to embrace the jank, okay? But it is amazing. I can't sing its praises enough, and it's properly dark, a real dark tale. If you like that kind of thing. How old is
Guild Wars now?
7,000 years old.
20th anniversary this year.
Yeah.
Is it really 20th anniversary?
Yeah.
Holy moly! What?
Yeah.
Oh my god!
Don't think about it too hard.
Yeah.
I'm good. I'm like, I remember playing Halo 3 and then playing like Guild Wars randomly one day and then not liking it.
No.
Well, it was described to me as an MMORPG, and I was like, this ain't an MMORPG, and then put it down. And I was like, I've got to still play Halo 3, like, because I'm in lobbies and I want to be a competitive player.
It is schizophrenic. It is totally schizophrenic. You are MMO in cities and individual game outside of cities. It's always done its own thing. Yeah, it's weird.
Okay. It's Mabon!
But before Mabon, we have a very important character that was introduced in the Onslaught.
Sorry, yes, chapter. You're right. We're up there. And I actually highlighted them. How do you say their name? There's Mabon,
Yagon.
but there's also Yagon.
And guess what? Isgarin made her Yagon.
Yes. So how did I not even think about that?
Yeah,
I missed that
Isgarin said Yagon. But Yagon, the Mistress of Agony. I believe this is the Mirsat who pretty much perfected Spectral Agony and brought it over and utilized it as the weapon we know it today. And it was Isgarin who assassinated Yagon. So Yagon is not happy to see Isgarin.
But doesn't also, don't they also talk about how it was very harsh? Like he was very much doesn't regret it, but like,
oh no, it was brutal.
He
was like,
yeah.
He went to town, apparently killing Yagon.
Yeah, like no one describes it specifically, but you get this idea that it was pretty dark, right?
Yeah, and I think later on in the story, in lore books, it's revealed that it was Yagon who killed Sidoni, which was the leader of the Seers. So Isgarin, being a Seer, needed that aggression to be let out, and so he seemingly assassinated her in a very, very, very awful way in front of her family.
There's also a non-zero-sum chance that the leader of the Seers was actually Isgarin's parent.
What?
Because of his, because he's of royal blood. So.
Oh,
yeah.
Shoot.
Yeah.
So this was quite.
Damn, that makes sense then. That makes even more sense because, like, even like
there's so much.
I mean,
tension.
I get it. Yeah, like they kill a very beloved leader. Like, I get that there would be that passion there already, but if they're a parent as well, like.
Yeah.
Damn, I feel bad insulting Isgarin in the past now. Now I feel bad.
Things
now I'm just
to be revealed.
but that makes sense, right? Because there are reasons why some people are so stoic and kind of stubborn and the way they are. Maybe knowing that more so. So how did you come to that on your own? Phonax, like with evidence and stuff, but is this like a very advertised fact that I've missed?
Yeah. So if you have played through Secrets of the Obscure, when Paitha arrives with you and Isgarin after the final battle with her brother, we arrive at the Wizard's Tower, and as we're walking, as they're there, she calls him Your Highness, and he tells her to shush and don't call him that. So he is royal.
It's not like harked on very much then, because this is why you're here. This is why you're here.
Esoteric law from Guild Wars. That's my job. Yeah, but yeah, it was literally it was spoken dialogue as she is entering the Wizard's Tower with Isgarin as a potential ally. Yeah.
My brain is exploding a bit right now, if I'm honest, because it's so good.
That.
Yeah.
I had completely forgotten about that.
Yeah.
Wow. How cool.
This is why I get none of the big bucks. Yeah.
No. Yeah, you just get a promotion that you don't know about.
In Jebro-Bucks, of course.
Jebro-Bucks, yeah.
J-Bucks.
Oh, actually, Yagon Be Gone is an achievement. That's amazing. Wow. I didn't even know that. That was the 35 killed. Yagon Be Gone. There were some good achievement names in this chapter. I've got to give it to whoever named those. That's awesome. Wow.
Always very quirky.
Yeah, they're good.
Reader Geek says that I'm her favorite now, so that's all the raise that I need. That's it. Thank you, darling.
Yeah, exactly. Like Fordex is here to remind us of all the things. As someone as Sam's in chat as well. And hello. Wonderful. Wow. Okay. I'm learning. This is the thing, right? Like it's good that you do learn these things outside sometimes, because I'm not saying everything needs to be there, but sometimes just a little tiny reminder would just be like, would be nice. Okay, so, and thank you for the stuff as well, Kriff, with Yagon, in terms of reminding about the agony and, all of that, that conversation. Good times. So can I talk, and then now, can we go to Mabon now? After Yagon's been Yagon? And Yagon is one of the bosses in the events as well. So they hang out outside of the instance.
I don't think they do. I think you're thinking of someone else.
No, Yugon is one of the bosses in one of the events. There's like a couple of different events here, and she is one of the bosses down here. Or she makes an appearance.
You're thinking of Manikaz.
Manikaz is... No, I'm not thinking about Manikaz.
Is Yugon in the open world?
I think so. As one of the events. I thought so. I know there's that guy who's down here who... then that's where the other races of the ghosts show up. I thought Yugon, because I remember seeing Yugon and being like, oh, they're here now as well. Maybe I'm
in
mistaken.
the wiki we trust.
I think
Have a
we
look.
I don't remember.
Maybe I'm
And
wrong.
I just was doing a couple of the events.
Okay. Maybe I'm wrong.
I know Manikaz is definitely. You sometimes fight Yugon at the end of the North meta?
Event involvement, defeat Yugon and the captured Jade construct. Yep. There you go.
Oh.
Yeah. She's in it.
Well remembered.
Do we actually like fight her?
Yep. Should we have to fight her as well? I was
I've never
right
had to
about
fight her.
something.
It's not always that.
was
It's
good.
it's kind of confusing. Yeah.
So they rotate those events out. Like I think they rotate the bosses out, in and out, because there is no meta in this map either, right? There's no like overarching meta. So I think it's like, I'm trying to remember where it is though. Is there a location?
Oh, it's one of 3. Oh, I guess I've had terrible luck because I've only ever gotten one event to pop, and I've played that event multiple times now.
Yeah.
It's one of 3 possible follow-up events to escort the Jade Construct through the Valley of Agony.
That's it. That's the one.
Oh, I've never seen that one.
Yeah.
What's
so,
the other third one?
well, the other one you've got there's the enemy who's down there who the other ghosts who are like Char and human. Do you want to know though? I'm not sure if that's the one you've seen, but I can't remember. One of them is where.
Oh yeah, defeat Yugon, keep the Jade Construct alive by throwing coalescence, overload the Jade Construct by throwing coalescence. Oh, so 2 of them are the same. One of them is defeat Yugon.
Yeah, but that pre-event is the same.
Yeah, the pre-event is the same, but the final event is RNG chance.
Interesting. I got lucky then.
Mm-hmm.
It's all about
I've
luck.
never seen that.
Nice. Okay.
That's peculiar.
I like that those events sometimes rotate because, but other than the fact that you're not aware of it, which, does suck because it's like, oh, they're a ghost, right? Like, I mean, I don't know. Anyway, it exists, thankfully, and my brain isn't playing tricks on me, which is always good to know, especially as you get older.
True.
Lord. Okay, so you're gone. But then is my bon. Sorry. I'm sorry. What did he talk about? Let's go back. Actually, we could probably just visit the text because I really want to make sure I get this right because I think this is the end of this thingamajig. Waves upon waves of ghosts swarmed us. After we finally felt we'd put a dent in them, the worst of them appeared. You're gone. She seemed to harbour a particular hostility towards this current, as we know, which good reason. Well, I mean, honestly, fuck you, gone. Deserved. Later, he told us that her anger derived from her death during the Siamasat War, a death for which Iskarin was responsible. And two kept at each other's throats throughout the fight as we fought off the remaining ambush. Our surprises weren't done yet. Pokey drew our attention back to the Wisp, only now it took the form of an old friend, Mabon. What appeared to be a memory of his began to play out. We watched his arrival in Jamfir in the aftermath of the Titan destruction. His pain and frustration palpable. As the vision came to a close, we eventually broke our shocked silence with the agreement to return to Anis. The revelation hit hard, for Waiting Sorrow especially. It seems Iskarin had known who the voice belonged to. Why did he keep that to himself? Well, speaking from experience, the only thing more haunting than the memories of the memories of past enemies are those of past friends. Oh. What did he say during this part? it's just really memories, isn't it, of him?
Yeah. And I think that's the interesting part about this chapter is that we have a lot of spirits and ghosts.
Yeah.
And Mabon's spirit is mostly just an echo of past events, but all other spirits in the map seem rather conscious and are reflecting on what's happening in present day. So Mabon's is just like a recording rather than his actual living spirit.
I guess part of me is like, how does that happen? Because I know we do see these memories of people that pop out. Is it because it's so strong that it just imprints onto the world and we come across it, and that's what the Wisp kind of is? Like it's has the Wisp recorded this? Like, what's the deal? Like, I think that's one thing where I'm like a little bit confused, because we find it and then we follow it. So in a way, like, why do they want us to see this? Is this because like Mabon wanted to make sure that people understood the story and what went on here? Like, I think that's where I'm a little bit like, why is this a thing? And I like it that it's a thing.
It's not explained. It's not explained really at all.
All right, good.
At least I didn't find any salient explanation as to why this is here. I mean, I'm kind of confused by some portions of it, because when we saw Zoja go through her ascension, she lost a huge amount of who she was. We know that Waiting Sorrow lost
that is actually
a
what
lot
happens,
as well.
right? Yeah, that's part of it, right?
Yeah. But it's not clear to me that Mabon lost anything. It's not clear to me that Isgaran, who we assume had to have ascended to have its powers, has lost anything either. So it seems there's lots of unanswered things, and that's not necessarily a bad thing. That's not necessarily a critique, because story threads not being pulled is our path forward through the story, right? That's fine. But when we have things happening and they've given us no breadcrumbs to even be able to kind of build our own theories around it as to why this thing is here and why this is happening and why it's interacting with us, it's kind of you're kind of floating in a void. You're not tethered to the narrative.
Yeah, I just thought. Go on.
I was gonna say, I found the text of what Mabon says when he appears. And he says, "So this is it. Your legacy of ruination itself ended in ruin. Our legacy. What did you expect? Was it worth it? Look at how powerful you are now. Damned fools. We're damned fools who damned ourselves, and this is what we have to show for it." So, I mean, the way I kind of took his appearing was like, it's his regret for things that have happened in the past, and to also show like he wasn't necessarily like a fan of what happened, but was like the Mersat were kind of like, I don't want to say like following orders, but they did this in the name of like trying to do something good, but look what happened. It wasn't, the aftermath was ended up being just like a horrible thing between the Seers and the Mersat. Like, nothing good really came out of it. Like, all you got was power and maybe the shame that kind of came with that. I think there's just some complicated feelings and like explanations that are coming from Mabon that maybe he felt was important to show.
It's heavy stuff.
Yeah.
It is. I'm realizing we're one chapter through 3 of them. I'm like, wow, that was a lot. Okay, so, and thank you for that. That's also really awesome information. Let me grab this next bit. And like it sounds like we kind of, I don't think we're crapping on the story, but like it is all very, it is good. Like generally, I'm happy with the whole story. There's parts of it where I'm like, you know, everything's going on.
Same. I think in the Golden Path, when we get to like the main campaign missions, they do a really good job at exploring the Mersat lore in a way that is easy to understand. You can see the logic behind a lot of the character choices. And then if you go a little bit further and read some of the books in like the library, you get even more of a picture as to what's going on and how certain characters are responding to what the Mersat are doing. So I think the Mersat lore was very bountiful this time around.
Lovely. Were the Mersat fans like happy? I hope they were. Okay, I'm just gonna read a bit at the beginning because I think this text does kind of help us to really remember some of what does happen. So I don't mind reading a little bit of this just at the beginning, just to give us a little bit of an idea of where we are as we start the next part, which was called A Legacy Damned. Our party regrouped at base to inform Anise of our unexpected reunion with friends and foes past. Our developments surprised her, and obviously she doesn't have a voice at VA at the moment because I think the strike's still on.
Yeah.
Is that what's going on still? Okay.
Yeah, and the Sylvari player as well. So.
Right. Cool. I was at the time. I was like I get it. And like, it's really important that people do that, and they have to, and they should be. But I was like, but damn, it kind of sucks. I was just genuine and honest. I was like, I kind of do really want someone there because it means I have to read it. That's the only reason. Okay, but it was the news of Mabon that hit the hardest, compounded by the Alliance's increasing impatience. I certainly don't envy the pressure Anise is under, because she's the mouthpiece really of the Alliance, right?
And they were talking about how Livia and Ludo are getting more and more impatient with possibly using the Scepter of Ore.
Absolutely.
So that's popping up again. Yeah.
I kind of want them to use it just because I think it would be cool. But at the same time, it would be bad.
Something is going to happen with the Scepter.
I think so.
Next patch.
Well, I want there to be something to happen.
Yeah. I think they're coming to open the gate with it. Sorry.
Oh no.
Ooh.
I was like, something at the worst possible moment. I feel like we're gonna be like on our way to doing something, and then worst possible moment to pop in and use it, and surprise, they show up.
Maybe they're running around with it and they fall over and drop it by accident.
Yeah, just trip.
Yeah, or they snatch it up.
And that's the cutscene. That's the next cutscene we're gonna see. There's just someone tripping over, dropping these.
We haven't seen a character like die in a while.
No, well, okay, maybe that we need to. Maybe we should have a podcast.
I have theories.
Okay, let's get through this first and see where we are, and then maybe we can talk about that.
It was nice knowing you.
I wasn't thinking Pokey. I was thinking. We'll get into that.
That being said, if any good came of Mabon's surprise appearance, it was to provide us with much needed direction. We've decided our next move is to try and retrace Mabon's steps. In following his path, we hope to gain some insight into what we might be overlooking. It may be a bit unconventional as far as leads go, but if Mabon left such memories behind, it was certainly for a reason. Okay, so that explains a little bit. Leaving them behind on purpose, like infusing his magic or his influence, I guess, or not influence, but like his memories. As I took my leave, I was advised by the Alliance's researcher Rin to direct my search south, and that's just what I plan to do. Let me see where we are in this. Okay, in the little playthroughs, because then I might remember where we're going. That's right, because we go into the I do an event. I think the story was here as well, because you end up following, like, not footprints, but you end up using your mount again, your Warclaw, which was cool. I don't mind the sniffing out of things. I actually kind of enjoy it for some reason. I think it's because there's loot mixed in.
Yeah,
which is helpful, because I was like, oh, there's loot again. So I started doing that. I was like, yeah, I can get loot by sniffing around. That's cool. That still exists. Yeah, there was that. Don't mind doing this stuff. I mean, you come across the pylons, right? The thingy, what are they called? The bloodstones. And that's where those where the wisp is, and then the memories come up again.
Mm-hmm.
It's about. Maybe I should just continue to read the thing, 'cause that gives us more insights. Oh, that's right. It's you find these books and the information. I actually read these.
These were good. All of the books in this map are really good.
Because they were talking about some of them is stories of like about the Bloodstone, but then also just side stories and stuff, I guess, as well. I'm gonna start reading this other thing again, just so we know where I know where I am as well, I suppose. Okay, venturing southward, I kept my eyes peeled for signs of Mabon's presence, and sure enough, not long into my search, I discovered a wisp hovering near some bloodstone. Unsure how exactly to proceed, I consulted Waiting Sorrow, who's suggesting use. Wow, that's an incorrect spelling. Using the Heart of the Obscure on the bloodstone. The Heart of the Obscure phonics is being used again. Sorry. It's getting worn out right now. I mean, it's getting used a lot.
Yeah.
It is.
Her advice
we still haven't asked her, what is this thing?
Yeah.
One day. Her advice was less reassuring than I would have liked. Still, I threw caution to the wind and gave it a go. Surprisingly, the interaction yielded a letter. Odd but preferable, a spectral ambush or an explosion. But preferable, sorry. The letter spoke of Manikaz, the unhinged Massart researcher whose ghost I had the displeasure of meeting in Sanguine Crater. Apparently he and his lackeys increased bloodstone sacrifices just before the door of Kamali was opened. More lives ended in vain. They really stepped it out with the whole, torturing and killing of the people. Good stuff, I guess. I don't know. I continued exploring, encountering a few more wisps here and there. All seemed to have anchored themselves near bloodstone shards across the area. With some help from the heart, I uncovered a historical text and shockingly the ghosts of two of Manikaz's victims. Judging by the deep-seated terror that haunted them even in death, I can only imagine what torture the blood phenoms subjected them to while they were still alive. Is this the couple?
Yeah. So there's 3 people who go in.
Yeah.
And they're all eventually sacrificed, but there is a little kind of almost like a love story happening with them, with a ring that you can find and an achievement, which is kind of tragic and yeah.
Was that? I'm wondering if that was after. I feel like maybe that was after.
That was at the Golden Lake.
Yeah.
Which is a little further down.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll continue because it seems to be helpful. One of the victims provided me with extremely useful information. She pointed me in the direction of the Golden Lake, which is good job. Well done, Engel. According to her, Manikaz hid there in his final days as the city fell. Now that I've gotten Waiting Sorrow up to speed, I'll be making my way there, though I'm none too eager to run into the Executioner himself. The Executioner. Yeah, there were loads of good little books and stories here, like talking about Kamali and Titans, Lazarus, Seraph.
Can I give some context about the prophecy? And the
yes, please.
Okay, so the whole reason why the Massat kind of went batshit, their whole society kind of morphed and twisted, was because of the Flameseeker prophecy, which is the bulk of the story of prophecies, and it is a prophecy that was made by Glint that foretold the fall of the entire Massat race at the hands of the Titans when the door of Kamali opened. So the Titans are kind of agents of Abaddon, and the door of Kamali is the door with which we unwittingly helped to open as the hero of Ascalon, and we had to go and basically put that boy down, unfortunately. So it's all to do with Abaddon, and his kind of hand was in play right across the stories, going through from Prophecies into Nightfall, and even in the Totheran, which is, oh my goodness, where is my brain? What's the other expansion? Nightfall, Prophecies. Factions. Yeah, exactly. He was behind basically all of the problems that were happening to the Ascalonian hero. He had a hand in it all, but we still don't know how Glint foresaw the prophecy. We don't understand how she has these visions, but we do know that is what twisted the Massat into the monster that they are. Everything was to subvert the fall of their race. Yeah. And that kind of threat can make good people do terrible things when they feel like that their entire existence is on the line.
Boom. Nice one. I appreciate those words. That helps me actually a lot. Anything else before we move on, like with this part, that anyone particularly enjoyed or wanted to mention before I move forward? I'm trying to remember what this bit was with the Messiah ghost they talked to us.
Well, I loved the aesthetics of this map. I've enjoyed how it feels, how it looks. The lake is eerie. It's beautiful. Apparently, before the Massat corrupted it, it was golden, literally like a well of power. And this is why the Massat. I think this is why the Massat built their city here. I think that's what it says in the text, because it was such a hub of natural power on the planet, and it would be nice to explore some of that. But yeah, I enjoyed the. I found the maps quite beautiful, not too obstacle coursey. I think that was very much a problem with the previous expansion, that the maps they didn't have good flow to get through.
Sure.
They're very disjointed.
And that was what I thought that the shadow magic would be. I thought, oh, they're going to make another map. It's going to be ruins and there's going to be dead ends, and they're going to have this like mechanic in order to circumvent some of that. Oh shit! Now I have to like get on my mount and try and figure out how the hell to get back to where I want to be. And I thought that was what it was going to be. So I was they did subvert my expectations in that capacity. But I did enjoy I've enjoyed the lore nuggets. I've enjoyed the layout of the map, and I think that it's beautiful, but it's not as kind of deep and as rich as the maps that we got, for example, in End of Dragons. You know, in Echo Val, when we had all those grottos and those hidden locations and those puzzles, and they kind of and I do miss that kind of like puzzle box maps that they used to do. But this is a beautiful map. I will say on a personal.
I love the southern area that we're in. That's all I want to say. It's just like it feels Echo Val like light.
Yeah. On a personal note, I found this section that we're going into, when we go into the map in an instance version, super frustrating as a tank, because I wanted to just gather everybody up and just quietly kill them as I lost the will to live. But they heal, and they heal a lot. So that was a painful experience for me. But that's my fault, because I wear gibbers and I shouldn't.
You've got a literal template for traits. You could switch to a damage build.
But sometimes playing a tank is more fun.
Is that what you want to play? Is that what you want to play? You don't want to play the more damagey part?
I spent many years playing an elementalist, and I don't want to be on the floor anymore, so I like to play my tank.
That is valid.
You play the game you want, the way you want to play it. That's right. Okay.
I was seduced by the Phoenix. Little did I know I would spend 50% of my time dead. Okay, that's the truth.
And that Phoenix used to heal in the alpha version of that skill, and now it just gives a vigor.
Yeah, that actually makes sense though. The Phoenix, like coming back from the. Yeah.
I know. They should have.
Does make more sense, to be fair.
Yes.
Okay. I was like, that's funny, because I wanted to try and go for more of a damage build, because I was like, they are not taking as much damage as I thought they would be. What's going on? So I was like trying to change my build up, even though I was like full condition damage, because they were just seemingly taking a long time to kill. I didn't realize they were actually regenerating. Maybe that's funny. Did they? Did the numbers come up for that?
It's done. They put a thing down. That stuff on the floor is their healing. Their healing thing.
Okay.
You have to punch them or kick them out of it. It's fucking annoying.
They, like, disappear every once in a while.
Yeah, I think the ghosts do that anyway, naturally, don't they? Like they come in and they reappear in places.
It was strange because it wasn't like, it didn't look like they were stealthing, like they just like vanished from the game.
Oh, okay. Interesting. Maybe.
I was swearing so much during this.
When they died, I thought that they just disappeared like that, and it was odd.
That, yeah, for sure, yeah. Okay.
I did not like this part. It took me so long to kill them. I nearly lost the will to live myself.
Yeah, I think this instance had a really bad pathing, especially for Manakaz.
Okay.
There was a moment where it asks you to follow him, and then he goes beyond the bounds.
Oh,
yeah.
Kept running.
Thank
and I was like, oh, wait. It was really weird.
I thought it was a bug. I thought it bugged out.
Yeah.
I was like, what's going on? I can't follow him. Like, that's literally, it says watch the story unfold. And I'm like,
yeah.
I can't, I'm listening now. And that's it.
I think this instance was not great in terms of its overall execution.
I'm going to play it, actually, the audio.
With this stone, I will outlast every one of you. Stop, please.
And then there's a Titan that comes out of nowhere, and you have to kill that thing.
Yeah. Like he started to go up the path, and he says, "Stop, please, no." And I'm like, "Wait, what's going on? Are you running from something that's chasing you to kill you now? Is that what happened? And then is it the Titan that comes out that's linked to it?" Because I was like, I didn't get this bit, and I felt stupid, and I wasn't sure if it was just me, which is, highly likely sometimes. I'm not saying I'm stupid. I'm just saying I felt a bit silly. I did feel stupid because I was just like, have I missed something? Because I'm like, the boundaries thing, and like, wait a minute. There we go. Yeah, I look miffed. Like, I look so confused in the stream. I'm just like, what's happening? I'm supposed. Is he coming back?
What am I supposed to do at this point? It's kind of
screams. Yeah, he just screams in the distance. There's a little bubble come up and it says screams, and he screams, and I'm like, okay. It just seems so funny now. I'm surprised I didn't laugh and I just shit myself.
Alchemy.
Yeah, I mean, if he was being chased by some spectral thing, it would help for us to be able to see it.
Yeah.
And if they didn't want us to go in that area, it would be helpful for us to be like kicked back by the memory. They could put some mechanics in here to make this make sense, but it doesn't make sense, and it's just frustrating that you can't follow him to see what's happened.
Vandrafolk in the chat says Manakaz was chased by a Titan, most probably back at the time. But we don't know that, like 100%. Like we assume, because then the elite, what is it? The elite rune.
I think it probably is a Titan, just because I think that we're seeing his memories during the time that the door of Kamali is opened.
Okay.
Yeah. It's the safest thing to assume, but I feel like,
you know what? Yes, you know what assumptions are, Criff.
Hey, eat that ass.
You don't know what assumptions are?
I do. I'm trying to subvert it in a way that's like not making an ass out of you or me, but here we are.
But also, they're the mother of all fuck ups.
Oh, I haven't heard that one.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
I thought we were wandering into kink shaming. Ass is fine, people. Ass is absolutely fine. Doesn't you know?
That's wonderful.
Take a little sample. I just think
people sell that sample
to Vander's
in
point,
2 different samples. Sorry, continue.
To Vander's point, I did get that connection while playing. I just think that they did not choreograph this right.
No.
Because it would have been more interesting if we followed him in, we see his spirit die, and then the Titan emerges from like a portal there.
Yes.
You can kind of connect that more
even
strongly.
if it's the same one that was just existing still, that just came down from the path and it was like, hello, I just killed him. No, I'm going to kill you.
Like
or not just.
I think what it is, it's like it's a sealed door, so maybe the Titan bursts through it, and we then have to fight maybe this like ancient Titan, or it looks a little bit different or whatnot. And it just was strange to have him go off, and you have this dead period of waiting, and then all of a sudden a Titan is scurrying from behind you from like in the lake, and you're like, okay.
But it's like this little baby one, Criff. It's like a little baby Titan. It's like, you know, it's like this little.
That also like destroys projectiles. So if you're playing a projectile build, you're screwed here.
Yeah, I had those. I went and saw that you do the CC, you're good. But like, if you don't have CC, you're not good. Good point. Yeah. No, it is kind of weird.
Chest burster. So it bursts out of his chest and dives at us.
Oh, perfect.
Yeah.
Good lord. But he's a ghost. That doesn't work.
That's fine. This is high fantasy. It just has to have the. We're talking about vibes here. This is not.
Okay.
This is not particle physics. Okay.
Yes, my brain goes to particle physics every time.
A niece and all of them pop in real quick here at the end, I guess, and are like, "We'll help you kill the Titan," and like, and that was kind of it.
It was weird.
I think the final part of this instance is like the only saving grace, I think, when you actually get to see the body of Manakaz and get more from Mabon's spirit. That was the only interesting part out of this entire instance.
Yeah, I agree. Engel, what do you think? What do you think?
Well, this is where we have that little side story, right? At the Golden Lake with the. So I spent quite a lot of time being interested in those little bits of lore and trying to figure out who I think it was like D and S were, and I could not find anything, but I was very interested in that. And then the letter from, I think, Manakaz himself being trapped in that chamber. But yeah, that whole sequence, like we were just talking about, where you try to run up and then it's like, no, I did not, to be honest, even understand who died or what was happening. My initial thought was like, is Manakaz sacrificing somebody up there and they just didn't want us to see him sacrificing someone? Like, I was really kind of confused. And it wasn't until I reread what's in the journal that you find out it was Manakaz. So I was just kind of thrown by that particular thing. But other than that, I actually did pick up quite a bit of information and I love finding all those little tidbits. So there was stuff I liked about it, and then that, stuff that just felt kind of awkward.
Yeah, right. I mean, go on, Phonics.
So I will say, for your personal gameplay, if you hunt about in the open world, there is at least 2 more manuscripts relating to the people who you find the ring for, and it talks about them coming to the island and what drove them there and their past. It's very interesting, actually. So I highly recommend you go on a little bit of a treasure hunt for those.
I'll keep my eye out. Thank you. I'm excited.
No problem.
The instance here, he does say, like, I mean, Mabon is very happy that he died in a horrible way. He does say it but it's almost as if he doesn't know who it is, and we get the assumption from that because the Titan shows up, etc., etc. I guess, like, here now, looking at this again, it makes me think, because he says at least whoever did you in made fine work of it, and because they said whoever, I'm just a bit like, I wonder. Not because necessarily I think there's 100% it wasn't a Titan, but just to like, I wonder if someone else did it.
And that don't we hear like a disembodied, like,
growl or scream that's more like blood curdling and kind
prominent.
Yeah,
I don't think they would give that much story weight to just any random Titan spawn.
Right.
It's probably more of like an actual named Titan, similar to Ura and Greer and Decima. So I think that's what it's kind of setting up.
So maybe that is why it happens so far off in the distance that we don't see it, because it's actually someone who does it that we know.
Maybe. I just feel like there could have been a better way at showing it rather than having us like run towards like a boundary of the instance.
Well, because we do go here. We actually go in the room. Because we don't go in the room, it makes me think that there is something else to this. Because if there isn't, I will be slightly sad. Because it would make sense now.
Or if it's his spirit. I mean, they don't actually have to show the spirit of the Titan because it's Manikaz himself. So they could have just had him like die. And then have like an ominous like scuttering noise to maybe have more prominence. And that then the player would be like, okay, this seems different. This sounds like a different Titan. And then Mabon would be like whoever, and then you have the additional scream, and that kind of reinforces that this is possibly something more than just an average Titan.
Okay, Vanderfog is talking about some stuff which might be interesting as well.
Do we know how much time has passed? Is this just after the Titans come here and kill all the Mazad?
I mean,
I think this is while the Titans are like sieging Bavanissos. Manikaz gets because Manikaz was hiding, wasn't he?
Yeah.
He was hiding around the Golden Lake, and he had a crystal with him.
So they're just frantically murdering everybody. Yeah. Because I'm wondering if this is like a day or two later, and he's come to the aftermath, which is what I thought when I was playing through the story. But there's still something there, and that's why he starts to chase it.
Yeah. And so maybe that's the thing. Maybe that's the thing that killed him. This is something else. I think this is something else now. Because, I literally forgot about this. Because he's literally like, what is there? Yeah. And that's Manikaz. Who's there? That's interesting.
Also, I find it strange that he passes through something that looks like it is a door, but it isn't a door now. And it doesn't seem to be sealed off. It seems to be structural, and I found that very confusing. If you go and explore where he just ghosted through a wall, and I found that quite like strange.
That could be story. That could just be the awkwardness of the programming and the pathing, maybe.
Maybe.
Okay. Interesting.
Yeah, the ending of this instance had some interesting elements to it. It was just everything kind of leading up to it felt a little wonky.
But the end bit was good, talking about the couple and stuff, and reading through the letter and they try to find, because I was like, oh, I'm gonna have to find this real small bush somewhere in the instance, and it may take me a little bit of time, and I'm gonna have to look for this bush, and then they just showed you the bush. It literally was a green marker on the map.
True.
And I was like,
I didn't actually see that. I just left the instance.
You did?
Oh no! I have to go back and replay.
See the thing.
I read the letter, but
okay, well, you're going to be able to see it now because I'm going to let it play, and I'm going to nip to the bathroom very quickly. But do you want to share your thoughts and feelings about this bit, people? I mean, there's not much to it, but I'm going to be like 2 minutes, and I'll be right back, okay?
I have a tangent for everybody.
Oh, yes.
Did you ever see V for Vendetta?
Say that again?
V for Vendetta, with the Guy Fawkes mask. And reading the story of the love story reminded me of her in the cell when she'd lost everything, and all she cared about was reading the story that she'd found about this love, and how it kind of condensed her life down into what actually mattered. And you kind of get that same kind of feeling of all the kind of bullshit being stripped away from life, and in the moments that he had left, the only thing he wanted to do was the thing that actually mattered to him. And it kind of was this almost like tiny little like motive of goodness in this ocean of excrement, right? This, that he found someone that he loved, and they were the baddies, but they were kind of like led astray, right? And they'd lost everything. They'd been tortured. He's hoping that she's dead because he doesn't want her to go through the hell that this monster is putting him through. And his last efforts are for hope and love, even in the face of all that evil, you know?
It's beautiful.
Yeah, very.
We love
poetic.
an allegory, an allusion to another work.
So,
I have to find the other books.
It's sad and sweet. It really is. They kind of come here all hopeful, like they're talking about how they feel like the spirit of Saul is guiding them, and how they couldn't get to the island before, and now that they feel like the way has been opened, and it's kind of it's and they talk about their life before and the adventures and just like being together as friends, and there's so much kind of great storytelling that's in this, but it takes the form of books. You don't get a huge amount of that really deep, sorrowful storytelling. If you were just running through this latest release, Hair on Fire, just trying to get to the end and get your loot, you would miss like 90% of this, which is kind of really sad, because there's some really beautiful tales.
I think it humanizes all of those people to find like tidbits of their lives like this, and not just like, you know, like you mentioned, you know, they were white mantles, so you kind of already don't have much love for them, but you know, you can see that not all of them were, you know, coming here with bad intentions, or like in the case of these two, like they were trying to start a new life. They were trying to, you know, be happy together and just like live a nice little life, and maybe make something better than they had before. And then you realize that they were duped pretty hard. And yeah, it humanizes them a little bit.
I mean, the story of the White Mantle is incredibly tragic. Do you mind if I like quick TLDR for people who
Sure,
don't know?
Absolutely.
Sorry. So
why are you saying sorry? It's irrelevant.
Well, I guess I don't want to bother you guys because you probably already know this, but
I don't. I will definitely have forgotten.
During the time that the White Mantle came to be was a time of huge upheaval. So again, humans are a supplanted race. They came here, they were ushered here by the powerful entities that basically oversaw their society, and those are called the human gods. They arrive here, and the first thing they do, under the war god of Balthazar, is they basically drive off swathes of indigenous population and seize their land. They are literally an invasive species at this point. They drive off the centaurs, they drive off the Char, they make war, and they seize. They are really like the Imperials of the Guild Wars 2 universe, okay? They're not really shown as that, but they are. And then hop forward to when we get into the White Mantle era, and you have the indigenous races rising up, specifically the Char. They get themselves a Kana, and they're like, right, we are taking our shit back, and we are kicking these humans' asses. We are taking our land back, okay? And they go after them. Ascalon falls. That's the start of the Prophecies campaign. Ora falls. They were being attacked by the Titans, and Vizier Gilbron kind of finishes the job and X's that small bit of continent. And then the Char turn to the last humans standing, and that is Kryta. So Kryta is, to not put too fine a point on it, up shit creek without a paddle. They have no hope of any allies coming to help them, and they are facing down extinction. And in waltz the Massat. Sol D'Alessio is looking for a way out. In waltz the Massat, and they save Kryta. They literally save the human species.
Yeah.
Right? Now, the price of that is terrible. Humans are sacrificed on the bloodstones. The Massat rise. But these people, they think they're in service of their saviors, and they quite literally are. So they think they're the good guys. And in a very real sense, like they are for themselves, right? And if you were facing extinction, what would you do? So
Go extinct.
Well,
depends how tired I am,
give
really.
up. Yeah, I'd be like, oh, fine, sure.
But it's an interesting dichotomy, right?
Mm.
Because they are not clear-cut baddies. They genuinely aren't. I mean, today you could look at them and you could look at the new white mantle and you can say, yeah, these are asshats. They are now just civil war for power. This is not about protecting the species. This is not about preserving Kryta. This is now a power struggle of assholes, of a guy who is just seeking power for power's sake. Very prescient again. But so there's not really many redeeming features of the modern Massat, the modern, white mantle. But the traditional white mantle, they were saving their species. They were saving their home. So when you think about it in that context, these people were just... They were serving the people who had saved them, and they saw them as gods. So you got to have that context to kind of like it gives them more virtue than we might originally think.
I appreciate that background as ever. Does make you think more.
Also, like, the writing is so good. The writing is so good. Like, it's brilliant. Yeah. Chef's kiss.
Excellent. We're going to jump into the next bit so we can get this up. It's a short bit, so, appreciate everyone. We've been doing
What'd
this
you
for 2
call
hours. A short bit?
Wow.
There's some proper,
Didn't even buy you a drink.
Gen Z, Gen Alpha chat going on in the chat. I'm like, I don't even know this. The only reason I know any of these words is because I am a therapist to this generation as well.
These words
all
are...
of the generations, so I know all of the words.
These words are calling for therapy. If you or a loved one use these words, you might need to see one.
You might also be entitled for compensation.
Yeah. Mesothelioma is no joke, and neither is Skibbity, Ohio.
Skibbity toilet is the one that gets me.
No cap. No cap.
The no cap is...
You gotta pay the phantom tax.
It's...
Let them cook. Let them cook.
I mean, the cook thing, I guess I understand. I get that.
What? Are you shitting in the... All right, let me get that. Hold on, let me get this out. Are you shitting in the mother toilet?
I don't think I've heard that one.
I have
What?
not heard that one.
No. Wow.
I
What is
just
the
aged
toilet?
10 years. I just
Yeah.
aged 10 years.
What is
That's
a
good.
mother
Thank you so
toilet?
much.
I think that brain rot is typically used in LGBT communities.
Okay.
It's like you're serving. It's another way of saying you're doing great.
Oh,
They use
okay.
that.
All right. So that's
Yeah.
the Slay. See, Slay's been. I was gonna say Slay's been around a long time, but like, I said that seems like extra effort.
No, I mean next time if you're
in the
talking
mother
to
toilet?
someone who maybe a client and you really want to relate, just be like, oh, so you're shitting in the mother toilet. Work.
Damn.
I would pay extra for that kind of therapy. Not gonna lie.
Yeah, no. Brain rot is
Maybe I should.
brain rot is
Charge
another
extra.
world.
Okay, so in the world of Tyria, let's go back there.
Not of Ohio.
I visited the mother of the toilet, or what, a countess.
I like the
Denise.
idea of Ohio being a world and not like a state. Like there's another world called
Nobody
Ohio.
likes that world. No, do they really like that one? Wait, is it Ohio or some other state which is the bad one?
It's Ohio.
Oh, it's Ohio.
Honestly,
Engel,
Pete,
you're not from Ohio, are you?
Countries.
No.
Okay.
No.
Yeah, okay, good.
America is 50 countries in a trench coat. Okay,
It
that is
really
the
is.
truth.
52.
That's the truth.
How many states are in America?
50.
50. Wow,
50.
I keep doing that. Why do I keep 52? I live in America. I'm not American.
Because there's 2 territories, right? So
I think we have like 2 or 3 territories, yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
They don't have votes. They don't have votes.
Oh no, the reason
Like-
why I thought is because he keeps talking about Canada. Ah, okay, that's why.
Oh.
yeah.
That's a joke. I did not think that.
Meanwhile, Puerto Rico's like, what the fuck are you
where's
talking
Puerto
about, you
Rico?
bastards?
Puerto Rico's like,
Jesus.
please. They're like, hello?
Yeah, Puerto
Hello.
Rico and the Virgin Islands, I think.
Yeah,
There you go.
Sorry.
yeah.
I visited the
Stereotype
Countess after giving her space to process recent happenings. Normally confident and collected, it was clear that Mabon's memory pained her. I had done my best to provide her a supportive ear, but aside from the Isles exploration, I was afraid there was little I could do to lessen her burden. As I prepared to depart, I noticed that Anice's parting words were drained of her usual cunning. Equally deflated, I set off towards the one area of the island our party had yet to explore, the central region. I trudged along, mulling over the situation when my thoughts were interrupted by a wisp again, flickering into view. This time, I was in no mood for its caginess. Thinking on my feet, I realized I'd been overlooking one of my most trusted allies, my Warclaw. With its refined nose to guide the way, we recovered the scent and were back on the trail just as soon as I had the sprite in my sight. It darted off towards the door to Barvanisos, a door we're still unable to reach. I informed Anise and used this moment to have a look around as I awaited backup. Ooh, the door. I guess this is all just self-explanatory, really. There isn't really much else to talk about here. Oh, we're not in the library yet. So that's the next. That's the big bit. That's the bit of bigness, which could really be another podcast, honestly. Let me just go see where we get to with this. I can't remember how we actually get into the library. How do we get into the library?
We walk in.
We just walk in. There's no Oh, the wisp leads us there.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Before it leads us. Oh yeah, there you go. There's lots of going on in the library. There's so much.
There is. The library is a dense area with a lot of it optional, which is nice.
The Grand Athenium.
Athenium?
Wow, thank you. Wow, I can't read.
I wasn't even looking at the map. I was just like, I know what you're trying to say.
Yeah. Strange as they could be, the Massat has had a refined sense of architecture. Based on the ruins during my visit, I found some useful historical tomes. One book in particular gave context on Yagon, her role in creating spectral agony, there you go, and also her role in killing the seer leader Sidney. There you go, that's the one. This was a major turning point in the war, another time written by another Massat, painted an especially menacing picture of Isgarin. Having worked with him in the past couple of years, it can be easy to forget I'm working with the most powerful wizard in known history. I satisfied my curiosity and cleared out various pests in the process. Afterward, I sought to regroup with my allies. Well, we're going to talk about the library first, I guess, because it's pretty cool. Let me just go into that screen so you can see it. It was optional to do this stuff. And it was a lot, honestly. But I was enticed and intrigued. And even I did this. I didn't do everything, because I didn't do the little stone tablet thing. I killed the enemies.
You didn't?
I looked at all the books and artifacts and stuff. I did not, because I forgot to do it. I went to the next room and you can't go back.
Trip.
I think I was a little bit confused about what to do, and I gave up very quickly. Because I was just very tired, and it was like 11:30 p.m. or something stupid. I was just tired. Yeah. But how was this bit for everyone? Enjoy this part?
This was my favorite part of this. Yeah. I liked that there was lots of little tasks and things for me to do while I was here for achievements, which I am an achievement hunter at heart. But I also just liked, again, picking up more bits of the story and the information you learn about like Sydney and Iskarin and things like that here. I thought it was really fun.
Anything like in particular that you remember that you really enjoyed about like those stories or anything, or was it just generally everything was pretty cool?
I think like Iskarin is really ambiguous to me, so to learn a little bit more about him and to hear like I don't know, I just felt like I was there almost. When you get that little piece of memories, like you're there when Iskarin was feeling these things or going after Yagan. And so I felt like I was kind of like sneakily getting a bird's eye view of what happened. And that was fun. I don't know if I'm the only one who felt like that, but.
No, I agree. I thought that this library in particular, one reason why I loved it so much is this is where they were really able to paint the character of the Mersat and the Seers. That gave me more of an insight, and I really felt like at this point, I kind of know who these people are, and I felt comfortable in this world. There were two books that I really enjoyed. It was the Notice. It was like Notice or Hunt, the Masked Scourge, and it was from the Mersat. I believe it was from I forgot their name, but it's I believe the mate of Yagan, and it essentially gives us insight into some of the culture of the Mersat. How if a Mersat is killed, the murderer is to be brought to their family, to their mate, so that they can kill them.
Yeah.
I thought that was really cool and really interesting in terms of like a cultural moment in terms of how they deal with death and murder. And there was a lot of aggression, but they also weren't just like they approached Isgarin with a level head and said, he's really strong. So while we have this tradition, if he seems to be a problem, your best bet is to just kill him because he is the last seer and extremely dangerous. So I liked that. And there was also a second book in here that had nothing to do with the Mersat or the seers really. And it was just, I think, a reflection of a human. I don't know what their race is, but it was essentially talking about how we should always be questioning authority and vetting information and having an inquisitive mind to not blindly accept doctrines that are just being spouted because they are of the leader and of the government and governing force. And then they tied it to the gods.
Yeah.
So I found that to be really interesting. And of course, conveniently, they cut it off when they begin to talk about, I think the book is called The Truth of History.
Yeah.
Or something about that.
I've got it pulled up right here. Yeah.
I love that one in particular. So it was the Mask Scourge one and The Truth of History. Or the Scourge Mask? Mask Scourge?
Yeah, the Mask Scourge is the one I've got actually on the video.
It's kind of sad that we didn't get to ask any questions of Isgarin about what we discovered. Because I would totally like go, dude, I'm reading about you in these libraries, you know. And they say that that you were exiled from your people. What's that about? Why were you exiled? And it's incredibly interesting. I mean, it kind of gives the impression that he was so radical in his murder sprees that they cast him out. That's the impression that I got from the text. But I mean, when you're defending yourself against a genocidal species like the Mersat, I don't know. I mean, how do you draw these lines as to what's acceptable? I want to know what he did to get himself exiled during a time of that kind of conflict from his society.
Yeah. And if it was an exile given by your parents, that's it's not just like a cultural drama, it's like a familial drama.
Yeah, like I really want him to spill the tea on that. Yeah, but I did that. Those were the two texts that I actually kind of stuck in my head. Obviously, there was another one about torture. This is if you want to. Yeah, this is the torture where the singing. But if you want to read this, you don't actually have to go into the instance, because the library in the world and the library here are just the same. There's no additional text, so you can just go into the real world. Onto the open world map and actually read all these texts. There's no difference. The interactive objects aren't there though.
Yeah.
The interactive objects. I think there's a couple of interactive objects on the floor that aren't there, but the rest of them are. The main text, at least on the bookshelves. So
there was one line from this that I found very humorous for some reason. I remember laughing about it last night, and it was Iskaran is considered detrimental to Masat vitality.
Yeah.
I was like,
Masat,
I love that line so much. Detrimental to their vitality.
They have such a grand diction, and I love that about the Mersat. They're very poetic.
It's because it interrupted one of their ceremonies by murdering people, isn't it? They were doing some sort of ceremony, and also they did. It was also like their burial rituals. Like they had a day of mourning, and they were doing it at different times of the day, which I thought was very interesting. I will say that there are human cultures as well that mirror, like you were talking about how the aggrieved family member would decide the fate of him and how he was to be dealt with. Islamic law does that as well. So a parent can intervene in the death of their children with the legal system if they want to show mercy or not. They can demand certain punishments because they are the aggrieved party, which is a nice mirror to our own civilizations. Yeah.
I loved this library so much. And one little element that I found to be very humorous without like breaking up the tone is that there is an overbearing Mersat ghost that is always following you around.
Yes.
I thought it was, and then I wasn't sure, and then I was watching the stream about it, like, okay, yeah, that is like aggressive.
And I'm like, at first I was so confused. I was waiting for them to like talk, and then I was like, oh, it's kind of like a librarian or like a really stuck-up store clerk that's like, don't steal it, don't touch that. Or
like a really like over, keen kind of American like person, like who's in a store like that. Like I don't think you realize how aggressive Americans are, like employees are in their stores.
Oh no, yeah.
Like it's kind of wild, like compared to everywhere else in the world. Like I would walk into somewhere, and they'll look at you and they'll just be like, hello, how are you? How is your day going? And I feel like
immediately walking in, you're gonna get interrogated. You're like, how are you doing? What's your day like?
That's why I don't go into some stores sometimes. I'm like, there's no one else in there, and there's like 3 or 4 people folding stuff. I'm gonna have to talk now.
Can I help you with anything? Can I help you with anything? No, I'm just looking. If you need help. I know they probably get paid commission, but damn, just let me browse.
Get paid commission.
Be like,
or like,
please don't talk to me. Yeah,
a lot of it is anti-theft as well.
Anti-theft and sales.
Damn.
Yeah,
people steal a lot in America.
They can get often some stores like you will. The person will be like, who helped you out today? And you give a name, they get like a bonus or something.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I feel bad.
Oh, now you're like, damn, I should have said someone's name.
Yeah, thank you. I'll find you if I need anything. That's a good one. I remember that. I think I use that. I think I do make conversation. I'm not an asshole, by the way.
I just scream.
In case anyone thought. You just scream randomly.
Yeah.
Hi, can I help you?
Exactly.
That's great. I might use that one.
Or you know what's even worse? It's just like, hi, can I help you today? Be like, no. Just say no. That is so blunt.
I mean, people do though. I mean, I've heard people definitely say that before. Just be like, nah. Just move on. Like, well, okay, fuck you too. Like, damn. Okay, that was funny. Okay, so where are we? Library. Oh, I was here for a long time. Holy shit! You lot are probably here way longer than me as well. Oh no, I was.
Did anyone figure out what to do with the cow?
No.
The cow.
The cow?
There's a cow. There's a cow.
Well,
So if you go up,
right.
if you fly up. So I was looking for the Jade construct. I didn't find it my first playthrough. So I was looking for the construct.
Wait, what?
And I got, and I flew up on my mount, and there's a crackling red portal and a cow.
Oh, a brown cow.
And I'm like, and I'm like,
in the library?
yeah.
I think that's just
I totally missed that, man. Like, what the fuck? There was a cow?
I actually just saw this on the Reddit today before starting the podcast.
I need to go.
It's a callback to like season 1. They've done it a few times where they just pop cows.
Okay.
It's a portal. It's a portal. Oh, to the Jahai Bluffs.
And with like the mist kind of being shaky, I guess it kind of, it's a nice, funny, humorous, like, it's the cow.
Damn
remember, guys?
I missed that. Oh well, sadness. I didn't look around that. I looked around a lot, I thought, but I missed that.
No, I also missed it. I think it's pretty high up. You have to get on a sky scale.
Okay.
Yeah. It's like really, really high. Okay. I wanted a bird's eye view of the library because I was trying to figure out because there are things that you have to take to other places. Like if you want to activate the Marlow beast. Morello, thank you. You have to like grab meat and feed it the meat, and then it'll come out of the hollow.
I didn't do any of that. I knew the meat was important.
Yeah, meat is always important.
I did not do the flipping things because I went to the other room and I forgot.
If you kill all the spiders, then a boss spider will appear at the top as well. So they've got a lot in the library. Oh yeah,
like the final spider that I didn't get was actually there's a web through the door you're supposed to go to. So I was like, that's a very strange place to put it because you don't want to like leave and get gated off, but you actually have to go that way for it to spawn. So I was like, oh, that feels weird.
I have a question though. Did everybody else feel guilty about murdering Bambi in the next room? Because I felt really bad slotting these guys.
You had to kill them though.
Didn't give them a second thought. Didn't give them a second thought.
Okay.
And the worst part is I didn't even get the achievement. I just did it for fun.
Oh my god.
I don't think I killed all of them to get the achievement, which is really sad.
It was mostly spiders, I think, that were coming down from the ceiling. You had to kind of go through there twice to have them come down. I just go back anyway and do and get the meat feeding done. That sounded weird.
I love a good meat feeding.
No kink shaming.
No comment there. No comment at all. Okay, so we've done the thing, and then wait, what was next here? I'm gonna go read the thing. Soon is Garen waiting. Sorry, poised arrow came to meet me outside the gates of Avenesos because we got to the gates after we got through the library, right? Because was there a door that opened or something? I can't remember now. Oh no, I'm still in the library. Okay. Jesus Christ, I'm still here. Oh, there we go. And then we follow the wisp. And we're trying to find out where he's going. Then there's a green arrow on the map. And we go towards the gate. The door.
It's like a slab of rock.
Yeah, it's more of a slab of rock. But it looks kind of okay.
It looks cool. Wait, you missed the... Oh, no, you didn't actually. Sorry. I forgot. I'm so used to Guild Wars 2 like working in sequence where you like go fully straight through, but you actually loop back here.
Yes. Right? Yeah. I think so.
For the final boss. Yeah.
They ain't got a clue what's going on. They don't have to get through the door. Wait. Did I go past the boss?
No.
You're gone. No. Okay, you're gone.
Yeah, you go back, which I feel like you never do in missions. But
yeah, that's true. Because she's not expected to show up. She just shows up, doesn't she? Because we didn't kill her. We killed all the people that were kind of hanging out, and then she pops up. Okay. boss
So
fight.
Poised Arrow, and Waiting Sorrow are here,
Mm-hmm.
and we don't know how to unlock this gate, this sealed area. So we say, let's head back. And as we're heading back, Yagan decides to say hello again.
Mm-hmm. And then we kill Yagon. Kill, I don't know if that's technically killing. Can you kill a ghost? I don't know.
We seal her in the heart of the obscure.
Oh yeah, that's right. Fornex, he got to use it again.
Hooray!
Wow.
That was deeply sincere. That was my most sincere.
Sounded like it.
How did y'all feel about the Yagan fight?
It was fine.
It was really
it was a thing. I don't know.
I was really disappointed in this, actually.
I don't know if I really ever expect these fights to be really epic or that fun, Croof.
No, yeah, I don't expect them to be.
Anymore.
I think for a character known as like Mistress of Agony, who has like devised the Spectral Agony, I also didn't love that like visually Waiting Sorrow and Isgaran and Poki were also fighting, and I literally couldn't see anything Yagan was doing because there was so much visual clutter on screen. And any attacks that Yagan would do, I was like, there was just nothing.
Oh,
it was weird.
Yes.
I felt like this fight was really, really bad, and in a way that isn't like story mode, like it's easy, but like I just felt like this was such a non-fight.
It was.
There wasn't like a phase change where you had to like interact with something to cleanse agony or like help Isgaran so he can shield you. Like there's some ideas that they could have played around with the creator of Spectral Agony as a boss fight, but
it's also an opportunity to show Isgaran as being incredibly powerful, right?
Fair.
Yeah.
Able to and a kind of a demonstration of the agony on us. They could have had us writhing. She could have tortured us, right? We could have been in the shit, and then there's a whole reason and a whole narrative reason for the three of them to be there to help us. I mean, I would have rather she ambushed us and they'd have to come and save us and protect us. That would have been like, that would have upped the stakes, right? But yeah.
That actually would have been a lot better, because then we could have actually like had to maybe be at the brink of death's door once again to really understand the cruelty of Spectral Agony. And then Isgaran pops in and is like, "You're safe. I'm here."
Yeah. That would have been a better use of this moment. But again, I honestly here's the thing, with all the great story, I kind of feel like there's just a disconnect between the people who are doing the kind of the mechanics on the ground of the narrative and the narrative team. And I feel like they need a group hug. They need like to go on an adventure holiday together and really kind of like
a retreat.
Classic retreat. Yeah, exactly. One of those corporate retreat things where they need like group hugs.
It's not called retreat anymore. It's called advance.
Is it?
Wait, what?
Well, this should be ayahuasca and shit. And
let's ask HR. Let's ask HR. HR, do you know?
It's such a niche Guild Wars 2 joke because retreat was because the Guardian Shot retreat was renamed Advance, but it was so niche that no one got it.
Yeah. HR, I need some input here.
Yeah. I mean, I think you could call it retreat if you wanted. I don't see a problem with that.
Doesn't happen. It's not something that you have to think about ever in businesses, like sending people away to.
I mean, we do team building. Where we do team building trips,
like an escape room.
That.
The last one I went to was laser tag, but yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
And I use all of my video game skills. I'm a much better laser tagger, I've found, than I am an FPS gamer. So
love that.
I wish the skills were more transferable.
Amazing.
The purge is coming. You never know.
I want my company like team building exercises to be like the Hunger Games.
Oh, that's intense.
Only one of us comes out alive.
Alive or still employed?
Oh, that would be fun.
That's probably already happened. I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm pretty
Not with
sure.
HR around.
That's called the U.S. military.
I mean,
I'm definitely getting my hair done for the Lightbringers team building exercise that's being planned here today. I'm definitely not there for that. I'll be having tea on the terrace, so I'm fine.
what will I come up with?
Oh my gosh.
I think we should do team building in the original game. We'll do it in there. We'll do our team building in Prophecies.
Yeah, actually, the reason why Boots and Rook have not been here in ages is because they've been fired. Because they failed in our team building exercises.
Oh, no. They didn't meet quota. Wow.
Not because they're doing awesome things in real life, like not at all. But like, you know,
no, not at all.
They were asked to shave their heads, but they just didn't even want to.
This is a wig.
Yeah. Well, those are the only two people.
Lace front. Unclockable.
And that is what was the phrase? Shitting on the mother toilet.
Oh right.
Yeah.
Is it on or in? Because if you do it on top, then you missed.
Right,
okay, yeah. Because on is like, if you're on the toilet, yeah.
I just shot on the toilet.
Yeah, but like in England, we say, "Are you on the toilet?" Like, are you like, you know, you might call out to someone. You'd be like parents did when I was a kid. They go, Daniel, are you on the toilet? Yes. Oh, no. Can you get off the toilet? No.
Babe, if you're doing it on the toilet, we need to have a conversation after this podcast. Okay.
I thought maybe it's London.
Wait, what are we? No.
We're not on it.
Just no. Nope. Nope.
Because I'm on the toilet.
Not asking that one. I'm not. I don't need to know.
Doing something into the toilet.
I don't.
Like, that's how that works. You aren't in the toilet.
So we kill Yagon. So we steal Yagon. Before Yagon leaves, Yagon acts as the Guild Wars 2 End of Dragons Elementalist Elite Specialization. A catalyst. She acts as the catalyst.
Yeah.
To hint at a greater threat, which so many of these B-side antagonists always do. They're like, you don't know what you're up against.
Yeah.
Well, we're going to find out. We never know what we're up against.
Ooh.
So true.
Do we want to do some wild speculation about what we think is behind the door?
Hell yeah. Hell yeah.
It's a toilet.
Oh my god, it's a toilet.
It's Ohio.
And you have to make a decision whether or not you get in it or on it.
Oh my gosh.
Just a straight flat map.
It's a Gary's mod skibbity toilet.
Yeah, where we go next one.
Just
it's a squatty potty, which is just like
I love a squatty potty.
Oh wow.
That's emotional right there.
And
with that,
I was traumatized the first time I saw one of those. I didn't know what the fuck. I felt like I'd just landed on a different planet. It was just too much for me. Sorry.
You just didn't go.
I didn't go. I didn't know how to go. I didn't know what to do. I was presented with a hole in the ground.
I know what to do with the flipping free seashells more than I know what to do with that. Like, Jesus. That's a film reference, by the way, people. Demolition Man. Have you never seen Demolition Man? Watch it.
Fornax.
So what are you thinking then? What is behind door number 1? Yes.
Fuck my drag.
Wait, what? Sorry.
Sorry,
Wait, what were you
were saying,
say?
darling. They were talking to me.
Oh, okay. What did you say? Sorry, I missed it. I thought you could say what the door
I was
stuff.
about to ask her the same exact question.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
Oh god.
I try to be a host sometimes and ask questions, but I forget that that's something that we can all do. Go on, ask your question again. Sorry, crew.
No.
Fired. I fired myself. I demoted myself.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'll give you 10 Jebro bucks for that.
I have a headache.
I can redeem them.
Kroof, what do you think's behind the door?
No, I think they were
There you
asking you. Go on, X.
I know, but it doesn't matter.
You just fucked it up even more.
It does matter. It does matter.
Engel, what do you think's behind the door? Anybody? Chat, what do you think's behind the door?
I think
I think we're all thinking of of the name. I think we're all thinking of Mr. Eminem. Okay. Yeah.
Wait, what?
Yeah.
Do you think Eminem is behind the door?
Well, the name starts with an M.
Just
Michael?
for funsies, though, I'm gonna say Codicus. I think. Codicus, just for funsies.
Ooh.
Okay.
Are we expecting some? Is it the person that Mabon's been chasing?
It could be, or sealed inside. I don't know, because he
Is it
set
not
up the
just
wards.
Is it not just right? Okay.
Because he set up a bunch of wards as he left.
Okay.
Why?
I thought that was to keep the Titans locked away.
To keep something inside from getting out. We don't know what it is really. We just know Titans have been coming out, but there could be something else behind the gate that is like calling the Titans.
Calling them through the portal to go out?
Yeah.
Are you sure?
Could be. Because there is something.
Okay.
There is something that Ura and Decima and Greer have kind of been alluding to. And, you know, a lot of the emphasis on, like, God spawn.
I mean, this would make sense. But I mean, if that's the thing that also Mabon has been chasing, that would be cool as well. Although,
I mean, yeah.
What do you think?
Go on. Sorry.
All of you.
Well,
my rationale is because, like, the door of Kumali opened. There was a gate, there was a door at the door of Kumali, which is in the Fire Islands. Okay. There wasn't necessarily a door of Kumali or a door in Bavanisos. The Mersat lived there. So something else had to have come through.
Okay.
And established itself. Something with maybe more sentience and with more of a plan.
So they were studying a mist gate. They brought it to the city, and they were trying to figure out how to use it.
Yeah,
I think so. That's what chat. Let me know if I'm messing this up. But from the text that I was reading in the open world, they brought this thing, and they couldn't get it to work. They were studying it. And it was all to do with trying to GTFO with the Titans en route, and they couldn't figure it out. And so I'm thinking that the magic blocking the door is the same magic that blocked them from, you know, accessing the mist gate. But it doesn't mean that it's locked from the other side, which is how I think the Titans got here. If you know what I mean, it's they can get through, but we can't get in. Is it clear?
Yeah.
But in terms of like, if we look to the old law, the Titans were created in the Forge of Failed Creations as a device of Abaddon, and he had Marganites on his side, these like corrupted humans who were worshippers, who he had in the realms of torment doing his bidding. And there was Menzies, which is I think who you were, or however we're pronouncing that, which is the half maybe, which is the half brother of Balthazar, the evil half brother of Balthazar, and we know what a prick he was. So real evil-er, yes. And but we also have the main antagonist, which is Abaddon.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. I was hoping Abaddon. Now that'd be sick. He's just kind of.
But I mean, it's been foreshadowed basically like with the Shadow Army, because the Shadow Army was part of Abaddon's army under Menzies. So it's all been pointing to that for quite some time.
How big is Abaddon?
He was pretty big. He was pretty big. We basically fight his head and his hands, and he was like a big boy.
So he wouldn't have been the one that Mabon was like, oh, who's that? Abaddon, he doesn't get smaller or anything.
Well, okay, so what we understand of the human gods is that human gods were just people, right? They were just people who took on this massive amount of power. So, and it changed them. Now, we don't know that all the human gods were originally human. There's nothing to say that another entity can't take on this kind of cosmic power and do things with it. And you can see that they're human because they're fucking assholes and stupid and they do irrational things, right? And Dwayne, the kind of their leader, actually had an affair with a human to produce a child who is now the god of death, which is a Grim. Is it Grim or
Grenth?
Grinth, yeah, we're a Grinth, right? And they subverted Doom's magic so that her son could have eternal life, right? So it's all very kind of, wolf courtish. So there's a distinct possibility that even though we dethroned Abaddon, some part of him remains there. And when Cormia pisses off in the Path of Fire, his minions come back. She was pushing her power kept them at bay, but his minions came back. So there is a non-zero sum chance that it is some agent of Abaddon or Abaddon, and kind of like the Prometheus of the Guild Wars universe is coming back. And he could be a good guy, and he could be a bad guy, and he fought for the humans to keep their magic when King Doric, after the Guild Wars, when humans were like using this gift from the gods to just murder each other and go into full civil war, and he refused to do it because I think he saw the peril coming and he knew that the dragons would rise and that we would need that to survive. So he really is like a Promethean figure in the universe. But I mean, they're very much leaning into the law, but they could go anyway because it's a mist realm, so it could be anything, right? He could have been chasing anything, but he seemed to. LeBron seemed to be having a conversation with it.
Does it have to be something
it has to
behind
be.
the door?
It has to be something.
What if it's nothing? And it's just like Titans.
Just a door.
Just Titans. Like, and you have to close doors.
I don't think that would be great. I think we might be, well, just because the Titans, while they are sentient with like Ura and Greer and Decima, they seem to be alluding to something greater beyond themselves that they are, following or being directed by. Especially so specifically with the title Godspawn. It feels bigger than what we know the Titans to be right now. So I think in terms of the steps it would take in a story, I think the most logical steps would be that Menzies, which is my guess, Menzies took over, and has, because didn't he want to usurp Balthazar, and he always had that like desire for power and that title. So in a way, maybe this is how he found it, by utilizing, Shadow Army or the Titans, and that's how he gained his following. I think, because also interesting that it's half brother as well. It's not just brother. So I'm like, what does he look like in comparison to how Balthazar looked like, and with the Mersat and everything? And I don't know, but I have a feeling it's going to maybe be him first. But what his goals are, I'm uncertain. I think that's mostly what I'm interested in, as to what the why. Why is all of this happening? Because we're still at I feel like we're coming closer to understanding what a motive is. We started with like the Titans just being these ambient threats. We got to see they had more sentience, and now that is kind of leading into there's something behind this door that has been mentioned and how they're popping out of. So whatever is behind there better have a good reason and better have a good story as to why they're doing this.
Yeah.
And I think Menzies might be the most fulfilling at the moment. Maybe his thing is to resurrect Abaddon in some way.
Ooh. For the next expansion?
Maybe he wants to create a new pantheon of gods, because they've left. Maybe his goal is to kind of reshape what he thought the pantheon of the gods should have been.
I have a thought as to how they could subvert that in an interesting way. So during our expedition and all the writings, we hear about some Masat talking about their gods, who they felt had abandoned them. And it would be interesting if the Titan were the spawn of the Masat gods themselves. Because we know that only Masat on this world have been killed. We know that they do still exist in the greater myths. And maybe the sect of Masat that we have been dealing with, that Mobam is a member of their society, is unique to this world and kind of subverted who the Masat were as human, as a species, maybe. That their genocide might have cast them as an anomaly that must be dealt with by their gods. And it would be interesting if it was their own gods who really kind of turned the tide against them, and might have been aiding Abaddon in his machinations against them. That would be an interesting kind of twist in the tale of the narrative, that they were killed, yes, by the machinations of Abaddon, but they were doomed by their own gods for forsaking their society and committing genocide. And there's kind of like a moral, like Aesop's tale in there. But that would be the only kind of thing that I can kind of unpick from this that might be different from the human gods are back. Because I think that as much I adored, I thought some of the best storytelling we got was us discovering that Abaddon was pretending to be a Masat and his whole like spiral into madness. I absolutely adored that storyline. So I'm up for more old god lore, but I think that it's an interesting subversion if it's the Masat gods.
Okay. Maybe the Masat viewed Menzies as like their. I think just the way that we kind of were tailed along. I don't know what the word I'm looking for is, but how Balthazar was revealed through Mersat storytelling. And with the ward that is on the door, it's very fiery and shadowy. So I'm thinking like they're doing another hint to some type of fire connection with Balthazar and Menzies.
Fires and
that's
shadows.
where my mind is.
Interesting. Okay.
Angle, why did you want it to be Cordicus?
Well, I have sort of like an obsession with the idea that I think Codicus faked his own death, and it's sort of like this wild theory I've just gone down this rabbit hole forever in a day about.
I love this.
But I have made up a story, and I am now just delusionally wanting it to be true. So I know it'll never happen. But anyway, I feel like Codicus faked his own death, doing some mesmery stuff. And then we read about him like wanting to get to Bavanisos, like in some of the lore earlier in this expansion. And then we find out he's called back to Tyria, or to Kryta, where, you know, he dies. But I feel like he felt possibly like this mission was more important than whatever was going on back in Kryta. So he faked his own death and was like, this is too much for me. I'm out of here. I'm going back to Bavanisos. So I am just like waiting for him to show up and be a bigger player, because we have like, right, is Ulrich and the crew kind of continued on their journey up to with like Judge and the other folks to try to find this place. We find like, I think some of their letters in the library. And possibly maybe he rejoined them. So I know I'm crazy for wishing that, because I love the type of crazy that Codicus is, but
hey,
I like that.
Not? Yeah.
I just hope that whoever is revealed, whatever is revealed, if it's something new, or regardless, I just hope there's a cutscene that is tied with it, because this feels like this is going to be pretty.
That's what you want behind the door.
No, because we haven't.
Oh no, I want a cutscene as well.
Oh, I want a cutscene
good.
bad.
I think it's
because
good.
we haven't had cutscenes in these mid-expansion patches yet. But I think that a reveal maybe on this magnitude, because this seems awfully important, so much that the Scepter of War might get involved. I feel like they really gotta introduce this with like the full shebang, curtain call, like you just really hit a home run on this one, particularly if it's a new character. And it would be weird if like everyone's camera was like zoomed out and like the new characters revealed and you're just like, who is that? What? And you're supposed to be like,
yeah,
oh, this is the catalyst for the next couple expansions.
Another epoch intro.
Yeah, that was bad. That was not good.
I mean, they
forgot
did
about
this.
that. Yeah.
They did
How
grab hold
have
of the
you
camera
forgotten
in the
about
last battle.
It was devastating.
It was.
Grand Herald cannot
I'd
forget that.
Oh god. What I want them to reveal. So I want them to reveal that it was the Masat or whatever is behind the eye of Janthea who was manipulating Eparch.
Right.
Because he seemed like a really like genuinely nice, decent demon. I don't know, and honestly, he was very polite. I would have
like aside from all the cannibalism, he treated me really kindly. Like
yeah, it was so nice. But he just didn't seem. I think that they were manipulating them to wipe out the species so that they could take over their home world again. That's what I think. I think that they were trying to, yeah, because they lost it. There's also like there's information in some of the lore that they lost it and they didn't want what to happen in Naos to happen again, and there's that. So
it could be interesting. Was Patha just an illusion all along? Was she a Mersat?
Damn. Okay.
I don't know. That seems. I like that idea because I feel like it kind of fixes some of the issues that I had with the Naos execution. But
well, I think
is our next expansion going to be in Naos? Is that why we're having so much Mersat focus right now? What if they actually give Naos an entire expansion they make like a separate mist map?
No. I think people would spit the dummy. Yeah,
probably not, but I think that they could do a good job if it actually got like expansion budget.
I want to go forward. New things.
And we only explored inner Naos. We don't know what outer or middle Naos looks like.
They don't exist. I'm deleting them.
Tough walls there, bro.
Yeah, I don't want to go back to see more Inside Out people.
Yeah.
This is what they are. Inside Out people.
That mount haunts my dreams. Jesus Christ.
You have dreams about that? I thought it'd probably be more like nightmares, but
longings.
I know they're pink coloured, but let's get real here.
Compared to reality, I'll take it right now. But yeah, they're pretty.
In a Naos is a dream compared to the actual state of the world. Yes, that's true. It's true.
Hey, I'll eat some phallic-looking plants. I'll do that. That seems fine.
That just seems like a normal day for you, Grief, to be fair. It doesn't sound like a dream or a nightmare.
It's the base of my food pyramid. I'll get your veggies.
What are the upper tiers?
That's what the meat's for.
What if you like to know?
We have to be better friends for that. Okay.
That's an interesting question. Money.
Money? Just phallic looking plants, money. All right. Money.
This is Maslow's hierarchy of needs.
Wow, you actually know what that is. Amazing.
I got educated, Jebro. I know you wouldn't guess it from the way I talk.
That was an educational thing in America? That seems very surprising to me.
I had a 4.0 GPA, Jebro.
Is that good?
So many surprising things
It means
happen.
straight A's. It means perfect scores.
Oh wow.
I wasn't above a 4.0 because I wasn't like a try hard, but like, you know.
Honestly, what are you and Engel doing slumming it with me and him? What are you doing, guys?
Hey, I
What
got
are
a 4.0 GPA and honours in my master's degree at university.
Wow.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
Okay.
In America.
Math.
In America. Where I have to learn how to spell different words differently and use APA flipping formatting, which is awful.
That's true.
Oh, I give you that. I hate APA so
Medical
much.
shit.
How do y'all feel about MLA?
I had to do some MLA.
The spacings, you know.
All the
Double
things, all
spaced.
of them, man. Good lord, that was a ball ache. Oh my god, literally felt like someone was kicking me in the sack.
It was a what? It was a.
Ball ache.
It was a. It was a cockwomble.
Oh.
No, that's not what it is.
Not sure I could use
No,
cockwomble
that's
in that.
definitely not what it is.
I couldn't use it really in that.
I love that I pronounced it as cock one ball.
Yeah, it sounded very fancy the way you said it. Cockwomble. Like it's some Italian or something.
I literally didn't hear you. I was like, my brain tried to recall within the 2 seconds that you said it, and I royally messed it up.
Yeah, the Wombles are
We've
an
come full
old TV
circle
show.
now.
Oh my
Full
god.
circle.
You need to go and look up what the Wombles are first, I think.
Literally, I don't think it has anything to do with that. But
I don't think it does
it's just
either,
a
but
very
I
stupid. It is a stupid person who thinks that they know more. It's like the
calling someone
living
a
embodiment of Dunning-Kruger. Like,
Okay.
you know, if there was a picture of Trump and the word cockwomble, they would fit together perfectly.
Yeah,
Yes.
just
Yes.
absolutely brain. Anyway.
Yes.
So I think we're going to kind of call it to a bit of an end there because we've gone for 3 hours today, and we did delete the days of 3 to 4/5 hour podcasts which we used to do so famously.
Remember the
Nearly
days of End of Dragons?
every single week we did that.
There was so much
That's
to
rough.
talk about.
Oh my god!
I was so tired after those.
It was literally ridiculous. So we had to calm them down. Thanks, Internet, for not doing as much. So,
No, go back. Go back. It was
We would like
better.
it
it was
was
good.
better.
It was good. I do like.
It was so fun. We were all in lockdown and we had nothing else to do.
Wait, was that wasn't during lockdown?
It was the end. It was like the end of it. People were still pretty cautious, I think, but like it was the end.
Podcast has not been around that long.
What?
Podcast ain't been around that long.
We podcasted during, COVID.
No.
Yeah.
No, we did not. Wait, I'm
It
checking.
was like 2020, 2021.
Shit.
Yeah.
Oh my god, I really did forget about that period of time. Wait, did we?
We have an archive where we can go back and like look at our.
I'm gonna do. That's what I'm doing right now. I'm trying to
Oh my
find
god.
it. There is about
I spent-
100 or so episodes. Wait.
I remember nothing about the lockdown. I was in Animal Crossing. I was gone, baby. I checked the fuck out.
Probably a good idea. Oh, 5 years ago. It was.
Yeah. You've been doing this for a while.
Yeah, it
Hard-
says
it's hard to
5
remind
years
you.
ago. There's no date. The first ever episode was with Aurora Peachy. Oh God, what's her name? She was English. Girl was, and Alex RPG guy. Wild. And then on the second episode was Boots and Bird of Chess. Bird of
Hey.
Chess.
That's
Oh
where
my
the
God.
formula began. That's where the
5
the
years.
blueprint.
Oh
Yeah.
my God, Kroof.
You're welcome. I'm sorry.
We do this every so often. I'm just gonna quickly do it. There's inks and age there as well. Look at you.
Do not. I would like to leave now.
Oh my God.
Oh,
You look
don't
so
look-
cute. I love it.
I didn't
I
look
wanna-
any different. Like, what the hell? Like,
You're a
Apparently I
beautiful
was allergic to
butterfly.
a brush, but hey.
You did have very long hair back then.
I was just growing my hair out. I was like, let's go.
Damn. I had muglock on a few times. But anyway, sorry. Like, it's your Saturday and I'm just reminiscing about Criff, your old logo.
Oh my god.
What is that?
It was a surfboard. I don't know what the hell that was.
Is it a surfboard?
It was in the shape of a surfboard football. I don't know what it is.
With a planet behind it. I was like, what is that?
I was figuring shit out, okay? I was experimenting with stuff.
There
I was like,
you go. This is the first episode where you had this picture, and that was, we know how old this picture is now. 3 years.
Yeah. Do you have my updated picture?
No.
I have a bunch of updated things. I haven't sent you any of my like updated headshots. Okay, this has been a terrifying trip down memory lane. Not gonna lie.
Amazing. I'm sorry. It's kind of funny.
You
oh
are
my god,
beautiful now, and you were beautiful then,
the hair is
darling.
so long.
I know my hair got past my shoulders.
Yeah, we had Deeg on as well. Holy shit! Oh, we really did have a bunch of different people.
Oh my god, this was the catalyst. It's weird because I see all these and I kind of like I feel like I'm right back there. Like it feels like it just happened yesterday.
Doesn't feel that long ago. Oh my god, there's Brazil. Brazil was on one.
Oh my god.
Oh, it's Brazil Fornax.
We always chat on like Instagram and stuff.
That was my first episode.
Oh my god,
that was the first episode.
Was this the first one?
Yeah.
Wait, hold on.
Oh wow, that was so long ago. Sorry, Angle.
Wait, go back. I need to send a picture.
I'm like, wait, go back to what? There's your hair again.
There we go.
Your hair's straight. Like it's actually been combed.
I know. I finally bought a brush.
That was when we were talking about it was Ender Dragons, I think. Then.
Yeah.
Was it? Why does that feel like so long ago?
Holy
moly. Yeah, 4-hour podcasts. Holy crap. Yeah, there's a lot of 4-hour podcasts right there. 3 hours. 4 hours and 52 minutes?
Crazy.
5 hours of podcasting?
We had nothing else to do.
This is consistent. It's between 3 and 5 hours. I'm so glad we shortened them. Holy crap. I mean, well, he says is that we go into the 3 hours and 10 minutes. Sorry, Engel's now the reason why we're doing longer podcasts, apparently.
Oh, well, don't let me be the reason.
Engel's like, I want to have a weekend. Please stop, Deborah.
I mean, in fairness, 30 minutes of this podcast, if you've been going, no, it's not 5 years. Oh my God, look at that.
I think I'm like,
right that down memory lane.
It is wild. Like I can remember nearly every single one of these episodes. Well, hopefully, I'll just be like, yeah. Otherwise, that would be fairly worrying. Damn. Awesome, lovely. Okay,
is
so
Inks still alive? Yes, Inks is alive. Yes,
somewhere. Yes, probably.
Yes, somewhere in the universe. He's behind the door. It's Inks. He's just going to burst out. Yeah.
That'd be fun. That was the end. Wait, I'll read the last bit. With your gun removed from the site, the wisp appeared in the battle's wake. This time we were met with a scene of Mabon cornering the unseen presence from the previous memory. In doing so, Mabon confirmed the fear that had been in the back of my mind. There was another Titan. We watched as Mabon went. Oh, there you go. We watched as Mabon went so far as to challenge the Titan to kill him. Instead, the Titan fled into Bavanisos. Mabon pursued. The memory ended. So it's going to be a Titan, at the very least. Which one is it? It couldn't have been a Titan that killed what's his name? Because that feels like a very small space. It's like where Mabon's like following someone from, and it's a Titan. Seems weird. Anyway.
Room.
A Teen Titan.
It's Raven.
Funny.
My favorite.
Looking forward to the next update. That won't be for another 80 days, and we've got things to hopefully talk about before then. And maybe we will do a bit of a Guild Warsy. Maybe, I mean, how long would that take though? Because you'd have to play through the entire thing.
Unless we just skip searing. I feel like that takes the longest.
Can you replay things? You can replay stuff, right?
Yeah, you can replay things.
Yeah.
So
I love pre-searing. I don't think pre-searing, right? If you're past the searing.
yeah, we don't need to do that anyway, do we? If we want to do just massage stuff.
I mean, it's super quick.
I
If
know I'm
you
in
can
this
get
show.
out of it
What do you
really
want to do?
quickly, out of pre-searing, you can really get out of that really quickly. You got like 3 missions, I think, and then you're following
Yeah.
Rurik, I think.
Let me think about it. Maybe we'll do it. Maybe we'll do something.
This is the start of our other podcast where we're not covering Guild Wars 2. We're covering Guild Wars 1.
It's with the intention of covering Guild Wars 2. Okay. All right. Lovely. Engelbert, meow. What do you do? Where do you do it? Where can people go see you? What are you talking about, Griff? What? Where do you think I was going?
Okay?
Do you think I was going somewhere else there? Are you okay? Are you in or on the toilet right now?
You broke Roof again.
I don't think that was intentional. Though. I didn't do anything.
I contracted my calf and it
Oh,
fully
that
locked up in a
hurts.
Charlie horse.
Oh
Like,
my god,
oh.
that pain
Oh,
is.
no.
That is painful.
It was just the immediate panic of like, I know what's happening. Oh no.
Especially when it starts to come on, you try to do everything to avoid it, but it doesn't.
Exactly.
Doesn't help. Engelbert meow. Hopefully you don't have a sudden cramp in your calf muscle. And you can tell us what you do and where you do it. No. No.
No.
Thankfully, no.
I hope you're okay, though, group. Let me know if I need to send you any phallic-shaped vegetables.
I don't think they need to have a cramp to get receive one of those.
You know, I'll take both up.
All right. I got you. Yes, hi everybody. I'm Engelbert. I stream on Twitch. I like to play Guild Wars. I also do cosplay of people, places, and things around the Guild Wars series. And what else? Oh yeah, you can find me on Blue Sky and on Twitch by the same name, Engelbert Meow.
Is there an emphasis on meow when you say that? Or
Engelbert Meow, or however you want to say it. If you want to sound more like a cat, that's cool. I'll take sound bites.
What about Engelbert Mew?
Oh no.
How do they do
God.
that? Like,
I don't really even understand that whole thing. Is that so you can block like a double chin?
like you keep your mouth shut and like you swallow and put your tongue on the roof of your mouth, I think, and it helps get rid of like your.
It tightens
like,
the.
Is that for pictures? That's for pictures.
And so, but you can't like open your mouth or talk, otherwise it wrecks your mewing. So like, if you ask somebody who's mewing a question or something, they'll just go. Like, I'm working on my jawline.
It's like an exercise. It's like a facial exercise.
Oh, that's an actual exercise. Oh wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's
Cool.
actually like it has benefits. So
You should Google it, definitely.
I'm definitely gonna do that afterwards. Kroof.
Yep.
Kroof. Tell us what you do when you do it and what you'd like to have for breakfast.
nothing other than phallic-shaped vegetables, but I also will consider
Never
fruit.
disappointed.
Hey, gang. Welcome back to the Hype House. You just watched another episode of the Lightbringers. Did you love it? Did you list it?
What does listing it mean?
It's like if you're in real estate, you're like listing a home to be sold off.
Excellent.
So gamers, we need you to hit the smash button. Smash the sub button, hit the follow, like, comment, subscribe. And if you want to reshare and post this to your mom or your grandma, let them know. What's up, mama? You can find me over at Twitch or YouTube. Just Google my name. Thank you for having me.
You've got
It was
the
great.
sunglasses.
What's
from
up, mother?
Angle.
I'm here to shit on your toilet.
You said on. For next, stop it.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Angle's got the mean glasses. Kroof is just being odd. And Fornex is doing like a flippin' thingy face.
I think we've all lost our minds.
I'm just here being me.
I need to eat some food.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Only
I
for,
need to eat
special, only
lunch.
for special occasions, yes. Oh.
Excellent. Oh my god. Fornex, tell us what you do and where you like to shit on the dog.
No. No.
You're not gonna share that?
Save me from this hell.
Jesus. Wow.
Fornex,
So
anyway,
minimalist.
Sorry. Look, nobody
okay.
needs there's such a thing as oversharing in this modern world, and I'm just not going to inflict that on other people. We're all going through enough right now. I don't think that people
True.
need to know my bathroom habits. It's too much information. But if you would like to watch my content, oh my god, my voice is
Looks
failed.
like
If you would like to-
Fornex got an order of those vegetables.
I'm putting the face on again. That's it.
You put the face on too.
So if you
Oh,
would like
gosh.
to check out my content, please head over to Fornex, the Crichton Herald on YouTube and Fornex the Herald on Blue Sky. And I think I still have my Facebook up, but I hate Max Zuckerberg anyway. He's an asshole. So how long that will last, I don't know. But please check out my content and my tongue face. Anyway, yes, that's it. Thank you for having me on the podcast. I have missed you, all of your faces.
Your face has been missed as well. And I miss you all very much every time.
That sounded so sincere. This is so sincere.
Yeah. The sincerity is important. I've been Jebro. However, the Lightbringers podcast, Lightbringers podcast, twitch.tv/Guild Wars 2 on a Saturday at 1 p.m. Pacific /7 p.m. or 8 p.m. GMT, depending on whether or not people catch up with their time changes. Check us out on Spotify, YouTube, all the things. We'll see you next time. When that will be, I don't know. Maybe next week, maybe not, because I'm not sure when the things are happening yet. But you will find out if you check me out on Blue Sky, Jebra Unity there, as well as our lovely friends who are right here. Check out. Pardon me, I didn't mean to yawn one time. I'm very tired. Today, this is like the end of like a hectic like week and a half, and then tomorrow's Sunday, but then the week starts again, and I'm just like, oh god. It's all good things. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, see this wherever it is. Go follow the people. All the things in the description. If you want to buy a copy of the game, which is also on sale right now, you can also do that via their affiliate links below, which is really, really cool. So you can support them. We'll see you next time. Lightbringers podcast. Make sure you sit in near the toilet whenever you're doing your business. And
there's only one answer to that.
If you would like your phallic vegetables delivered to you on time, then please find out from Kroof how to do that. Goodbye.
I was about to say you have a HelloFresh sponsorship? What's going on here?
No, I don't want to get food poisoning. Thanks. Bye, everyone.
Wow.
Okay, there we go. Well done, everyone.
Yay!
We did it!
You all did it. All the time.
We did it! We did it! Hooray! Vamos Emos!
It's Saturday as well. It's not Sunday.
It's
Even
Saturday.
better. Okay. I'm going to go work out, I think, because I wanted to do that today. Otherwise, I feel bad that I didn't do that.
I'm gonna go eat some food.
Then eat some
I'm
food.
going to bed.
Oh, you are going to bed.
Oh,
That's right.
Love
It's
the
quite late for you.
lighting.
I do. That's amazing.
Angle just changed
Angle,
their
yeah,
lighting.
yeah.
Oh, I just
Looks
turned
amazing.
my spicy light off.
Oh, your streamer
Oh.
lights.
Yeah.
When
They're
you're playing
warm
games
fantastically.
normally, like, do you have all of those lights on normally when you're gaming?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You do?
Yep.
Damn,
Love that.
That's so much going down. You've even like.
Well, I mean,
framed-
I don't see it. It's all behind me, so.
It's such a professional setup. It looks absolutely amazing, Han.
Oh,
Absolutely
thank
stunning.
you.
Yeah,
Thank
you're
you.
a true gaming mum.
Yes. I fear the day when I'm gonna have to make room for my kids. So
I'll just put them outside or something.
Eventually they leave. It's great.
Survival
I
of the
highly
fittest.
recommend it.
Wow. I mean, Mowgli was okay.
Well, y'all, it's been
Bye-bye.
real. Remember to skibidi that Ohio and
No
Riz
cap.
that Rizzler. And with that, I bid y'all adieu.
Good evening. We're heading over to Madagon. Go say hello, peeps, in the chat.
Bye.
Bye.
Have a wonderful weekend,
folks.
everybody.
You too. Bye, my friend. Bye.
Bye.
Okie dokie, everyone. Go say hello to Madagon Legend. Raided us last night. See you soon, peeps. Hope you have a rest of your weekend, which is awesome. And I'll see you next week anyway, hopefully for a stream. We shall see when that happens. That was good times. Bye-bye for now, everyone. You take care. Have a good biscuit, toilet. Sorry.